Well, hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing? Welcome to Texas. Look at these beautiful buildings. There's the Holy Family. I think it's the Sacred Heart Church here. It's a Catholic church in Galveston, Texas. This is Galveston, Texas. We have December the 27th, 2025. I took a trip down here, spent the night. We did some live streaming yesterday, last night. Here we got, it's about 10:14 in the a.m. and we'll stream this beautiful church here at the bishop's residence next door. We'll go over there and we'll see if anybody's tuning in here. I know I don't usually stream here on Saturday. We'll see how this goes. I want to stream the whole live stream on YouTube, at least this morning. We're planning to go to the Moody Gardens later this afternoon. That'll be a separate live stream, but we're going to live stream. There's a beautiful Victorian housing all around this quadrant of Galveston, and we'll start here with the Sacred Heart Church, Holy Family Church, and the Bishop's Residence. So just like normally I stream from Chicago. I'm on a Texas trip here, visited family here for the holidays, and I took a little excursion down to Galveston because I wanted to tour this myself. And we got blessed with a beautiful day. We have about 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 71. It's a little cooler here by the coast. It's supposed to get to 80 degrees in Houston today. Very warm for December the 27th. William and Adele Skinner House, 1895. They bought this parcel. And noted Texas architect designed a two-story Queen Anne style home. This is a Queen Anne style home here, Galveston, Texas. Look at these beautiful porches. Hey, thanks. You could have missed this. That's good. Well, hey, one golden Nubian there. Yeah, thanks. Thanks to you and Shauna there. And I sent the message this morning there. I appreciate it. Thanks for being on. I appreciate it. If you got something else to do, I understand. I don't expect you to have to, whenever I live stream. We got enough people in the pool. But if you want to watch, that's great. We're going to see some amazing things. I already got a message from Natalie. I know other people got other stuff going on, which I understand. And I appreciate it. Thanks, one golden Nubian, Shauna. Hey, Shauna got back to me with the information. We saw that building last night. It was a women's academy there. And I'll get you more information in the notes if we post a rerun there. We saw a beautiful building. We saw a lot of beautiful buildings. But hey, we're seeing beautiful buildings today. Thanks. Oh, good. Thanks, one golden Nubian. Yeah, thanks for seeing the message there. Yeah. So I sent to the mod team, and I sent to Brian Really Chicagoans, and I sent it to YouTube, and I sent it to TikTok and YouTube. But hey, I know it's erratic. I don't usually stream on Saturday, and I know you weren't expecting me to come on Saturday, but since we're here in Galveston, we're going to do a stream. I'm going to just methodically go back and forth on these streets and try to document as much of this beautiful housing. This is the bishop's residence. People were referring to this. This was a private residence until the Catholic Church eventually bought it as a residence for the bishop, which I assume, here we go. Here's the Sacred Heart Church here, Galveston, Texas. Such a beautiful church. They're probably, it's Saturday, maybe tomorrow they'll have services. There might be something going on here today. It might just be they're giving tours. Here's some blackbirds are flying across. Here's the Bishop's Residence, Galveston, Texas. Here's Broadway, Christopher Columbus Boulevard. It's 14th Street. They call it Christopher Columbus. And look at this amazing church here. We getting the whole thing. I zoomed out the whole way. Look at the beautiful, and we're getting into the sunshine. Exactly what I wanted. It was kind of overcast yesterday, so we're blessed with beautiful sunshine here. Hey, thanks everybody. One golden Nubian, Shauna. Thanks for tuning in here. Here's Sacred Heart Catholic Church here, Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. Look at that amazing porch. You see why I wanted to showcase Galveston, because there is significant architecture. This is one of the most, it's a Chateau-esque, Richardsonian, Romanesque combination. One of the most significant buildings in Galveston, and as well as this church. It's got this dome, bleached white. Looks how nice it looks with the palm trees in the sun. And hey, we got motorcycles here, 70 degrees. It's about 20 degrees Celsius. And we got 10:19 in the AM here Saturday, December the 27th, 2025. Thanks for checking out this beautiful architecture here. And yeah, we had a beautiful day. I was sitting on the balcony this morning looking at the ways we caught the sunrise. It was on TikTok. I'll do a rerun there. I didn't expect any of my mod team to be up there so early on a Saturday, so I did it on TikTok and it worked out pretty good. It was a super fan only chat. We got the sunrise this morning over the Gulf of Mexico. But here's the beautiful, this is called the Sacred Heart Church. No, it's the, yeah, Sacred Heart Holy Family Church. I guess that's the rectory. And it's a Catholic church. It's in Galveston, Texas. If you just joined, we're in Galveston, Texas. I usually stream from Chicago, but we're taking a trip here, Texas trip to visit family. On the way, you know me, I'm going to make some side trips to see some beautiful architecture and historic districts, historic housing, Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in there. You're getting over a cold. Oh, thanks for taking it easy. Yeah, I know you've been under the weather there. I hope you feel better. One Golden Nubian. Thanks everybody for wishing well wishes there. I know a lot of people got nothing worse than having a cold in the wintertime. But here we'll try to warm you up with the beautiful weather we're having here in Galveston, and check out this here, let's get across the street. I got 9 seconds. You know me, I'm always running to get across the light. Christopher Columbus Boulevard. Yeah, we'll check out the Bishop's Palace, Gresham's House, historic roof restoration. They're restoring the roof. Look at those turrets. But hey, look at this. Look at this spectacular church. And I'm tempted to go inside there. Maybe we'll try to go inside. There's people standing in front of it. Are the doors open on the side? See, I don't want to just walk up there. It looks like they're practicing for a wedding or something. So some people just came out. See, some people just came out. I'm tempted to just peek inside there. I'll ask them if it's okay if I can go inside. They're taking pictures. So here's the Sacred Church of the Blessed Heart here, Holy Family Church here. I'll take my hat off. There we go. Yeah, we got some churches. If you just joined here, we're inside the Holy Family Parish welcomes you, Church of the Sacred Heart here. Look how beautiful this is, this interior. Am I streaming okay? Sometimes I get in the thick walls here. Hey, they got it decorated for Christmas here. Let's go up here. I'm just in awe of the architecture of these Catholic churches. I'm not even Catholic. My whole dad's side family's Catholic. Look at the poinsettias. Wow. Look at this. Look at this side nave or whatever they call this. Look at the stained glass windows. They got a big oculus or a big rotunda up there. Hey, look at they got a pipe organ. So hey, if you just joined, we're in Galveston, Texas. We're checking out the interior of the Church of the Sacred Heart here, Holy Family Church. Galveston, Texas is across from the Bishop's residence. Hopefully I'm getting the name right. If I'll correct it in the notes if I'm misspeaking here. I'm just in all of these columns. Yeah, you know, I'm a pretty secular person. So even though I'm not a practicer of any faith, I respect. You know, just okay. So why is this church so ornate? It's the wealth and power of the Catholic Church, and the Catholic Church, you know, it would create these beautiful buildings, yeah, to inspire their personal brand of worshiping God, and people felt closer if you had an aspiring space with, you know, in the Middle Ages they would see the stained glasses, and it was like, how did they make this? You know, must have been, you know, inspired by God, you know, and that's where do architects or artists get the creativity to do anything? Is it come from the original creator, or is it human? You know, with the divine intervention, we don't know. But I'm just doing this because it's a beautiful historic building. I'm not trying to. How you doing, sir? So here we'll head out of here, and I don't want to. How you doing? Appreciate it. I don't want to. Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Okay. So I don't want to disrespect anybody. I want to respect all faiths and all lacks of faith, and I'm not trying to promote one religion over the other. But thanks for tuning in. It shows you the nature of live streaming. No matter what you do, someone won't like whatever you film, so we're just going to film it and let people comment the way they're going to comment. Here. Thanks for tuning in here. Galveston, Texas. Yeah, let's check out this beautiful, look at these balconies. So this is called the Bishop's Residence. The Catholic Church eventually bought this. It was designed as the Gresham House. Let's sell some information here. We'll go to the historic plaques. It's a Richardsonian Romanesque hybrid Chateau-esque style. I think because these round, it's a hybrid between Romanesque and Chateau-esque, which is a French chateau style. We're in Galveston, Texas. Yeah, what about this house? We're gonna check it out here. What about it? Here's the Bishop's Palace, Gresham House, historic roof restoration financed here. Here's the Bishop's Palace. This is Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in here. Look how nice this is. And the 1892 Josephine and Walter Gresham House here, Galveston Historical Foundation. I guess you could tour this thing. We'll check out the plaque here. It's open during 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets, so I didn't get tickets, so you can tour the inside. I don't know. I don't know either. I guess you got to go online. I just got here. I saw that they. Yeah, yeah, it's open here. They got maybe it's free here. They say you go to the side here. Tickets can be purchased. Yeah, they said tickets can be purchased in the basement. So here's the. We're just gonna stay on the outside because it's such a beautiful day here. But I think we can walk around the outside, and that's mainly what I want to see. I'm sure the interior. We'll save that for another trip. I'm sure you can go online and find pictures of the inside. This is the Gresham Bishop's Residence here, Galveston, Texas. Look at those chimneys. Look at the detail. I guess that's what makes it chateau-esque. And look at the detailing on the railings, the porch. Remember, we went to one of these in Rockport, a similar residential house that faced the ocean. This is a little away from the ocean. Here's the backside. They got these little gardens. So if you just joined, we're in Galveston, Texas here. We're touring around the back of this. You can tour the inside of this, but I'm not going to go inside because we got so much ground to cover. We're gonna see the Moody. We're gonna see the Moody Gardens in Galveston, where those pyramids are. But hey, I got to keep focused on this building as we walk around here. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, I know. So isn't it amazing? The most spectacular building in the Gold Coast of Chicago is the Archbishop's Residence, and probably arguably the most spectacular residence in Galveston is the Bishop's Residence. I'll let you read into that whatever you want, but the Catholic Church, it belongs to the Catholic Church, not the bishop, and the bishop changes. And I don't know if the bishop still I don't think anybody lives here now. I think it's a museum. It's just a museum that you can tour, and you can pay to tour. There's the Bishop's Residence here, Galveston, Texas. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to walk down Broadway, and then we're going to go zig and zag and go up and down these streets and see some of the beautiful housing of Galveston here. But here's the Bishop's Palace, 1892. You can tour the inside, but we'll save that for another time. It's such a beautiful 70-degree sunny day. I don't want to. We'll spend time indoors at the Moody. I might be hot enough by this afternoon that I'll be happy to get in the air conditioning of the Moody Gardens. Yeah, look at that. So here's the Carl and Hilda Beal House, B-I-E-H-L. In 1902, Galveston was still recovering from its most devastating hurricane in recorded history. This was badly damaged. This house was badly damaged. And shipping company, the Beal Company, he purchased this damaged home and fixed it up. So this was damaged by the hurricane, and he fixed it up right next to the Bishops. We're on Broadway here, one of the main east-west street through Galveston, Texas, besides the Strand. Look at this beautiful housing. Hey, there's a little Santa hat there. Yeah, there's a lot of power in the ideology of historically through the Middle Ages. Think how in the Middle Ages the church, the Vatican, dominated the monarchs of Europe, and that was a big part of it. Eventually it took to King Henry the Eighth to finally, for the Church of England to break away from, and it was because King Henry the Eighth wanted a divorce. Here's Broadway and 50. He kept killing off his queens. It's not funny, I know. See, we're going to see some of this beautiful housing. We're going to zig and zag. I want to document these streets systematically. So here we got 1029 in the AM here. Here's the Isaac and Henrietta Kempner house. This is in Galveston, Texas. Thanks for checking out this historic walk through this historic residential neighborhood in Galveston, Texas. Look at the housing here. And Giovanni Bugatti. Yeah, you're English. Hey, Keith, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, how you doing there? Where was the barbershop? Did I miss the barbershop? Sometimes I miss things there. How's everybody doing here? Yeah, most of them, they were donated by wealthy Catholics. Thank you. Thanks for explaining that. That's how the Archbishop, because, you know, it's a double thing. Whereas most of those beautiful, huge mansions that were donated to the Catholic Church, it was after income taxes or after real estate taxes. And so you could donate the church when the taxes became unaffordable, and then the church was tax exempt. Oh, think about that. And I might be oversimplifying it. I know it's more complex than that. That wasn't the motivation. It was to donate something. You know, don't lay up your treasure on earth, but your treasures in heaven. Donate it to the church. Here's the, look at this nice. So where are we at here? We're on Broadway, Galveston, Texas here. We're 16th Street. Yeah, let's go one more block here, and then we'll circle around. Yeah, there's a giant cruise ship. So there's a giant cruise ship. We'll head over there. A giant cruise ship came in overnight. So when we were there last night, there was not a cruise ship there. So that cruise ship must have came in overnight. We'll head up that way and see if we can see it. There's a big hedge here. You're in Arkansas. Hey, we stopped in Hot Springs. I got reruns on TikTok and YouTube. We stopped in Hot Springs, Arkansas. A beautiful national park, and all those bathhouses and hotels and the history of Hot Springs. A lot. And during Prohibition, that was a gambling mecca. Al Capone went there. Joe DiMaggio. It was baseball spring training. Was there? Here's a little gecko. There's a little lizard that hopped on the concrete. So hey, we're in Galveston, December the 27th. We're seeing a little lizard crawling around there. How you doing there, lizard? It's 71 degrees. Pretty nice here. So here we'll see this house. We'll go up to 17th and we'll cut up and over here. Yeah, Keith, how you doing there? Jules, beautiful morning. Jeff, yeah, Tweaker Tube. The cloak is a museum. Okay, good. Evil spirits. Yeah, Shauna, thanks for the temperature there. Tea Lime Tea Time, how you doing? Thanks for coming back. So here's the Broadway Church of Christ. It's a little bit more modest than the Archbishop's residence in the, or the Bishop's residence in the Sacred Heart Church. Here's 17th and Broadway. The Lee Kempner House. This is historic. You can tour this as well. There's the Lee Kempner House here. $5, $10. You can see it on YouTube, Facebook. Here it is. Look at this beautiful house here. And we'll head up here. Good morning. How you doing? Look at this beautiful house here. Look at that. Very nice. There's the Kempner. Let's see what they say here. The Lee Kempner House. A restoration in progress here. There, non-profit there. Look at this beautiful historic house there. And I always want to reassure him I'm not filming him. I'm trying to film the house. It's an historic house. And I know people get anxious when they see cameras. I'm on a public street here in Galveston, Texas. Look at this. Wow. So here's a fixer-upper. If you like historic, if you have the money and the dedication to restore historic Victorian homes, I'm sure you can find a money pit here. Here's look at this beautiful Victorian. It has Italianate elements as well. I'm not an architect, I just play one on TikTok, but here we're on YouTube. Checking out the historic housing here in Galveston. It's, even though it's only 71 degrees, I put on sunscreen and that sun is hot. 17th. And wow, look at that. Look at that porch. This is 1627 J.C. Troop Castle, private. They call this a castle because of that. And I bet you could see the ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, from the top of that. And we're about 8 blocks, the ocean's about 8 blocks south here. That's why. Yeah, America's forgot how to be American. I agree. I am saddened by my fellow Americans that seem to be accepting of authoritarianism. We fought authoritarianism in World War II. I'm not saying we're as bad as the Axis in World War II, but there's authoritarian tendencies coming out of America now, and the world notices it. And I notice it in America. You know, some people thought Biden was authoritarian, which, you know, authoritarian for the left, Trump's authoritarian for the right. And the pendulum swings further the other way, and the punishment begins. And, wow, look at this tree. So, a lot of times when we lose trees, this happens in Chicago. Look at the creative carving. They carved birds and pelicans into this tree that we lost here in Galveston, Texas. Look how you can turn a dead tree into a sculpture that lives on. And thanks for checking out the beautiful. This is why I like to discover. This is why you have to get out of the car and just walk down the street, because you can drive right by this stuff and not even notice it. Look at that. Supporter green space community, Rosenberg. We see that name all over this town. Rosenberg family donated a lot for this Galveston, Texas. Yeah, it's the Gulf of Mexico. You can call it whatever you want. Language is very fluid. Just because if Joe Biden told me to call it the Gulf of America, I'd still call it the Gulf of Mexico. If Donald Trump tells me to call it the Gulf of America, I'm still going to call it the Gulf of Mexico, because I'm an American. And I thought the presidents work for us and not the presidents dictate what we're supposed to think. And I know people rejected Biden for the same reason. People were very disturbed by the renaming of military bases. They took several military bases that were named after Confederate generals, and they renamed them and hoped to try to unify the country, and it divided the country. People were very angry and resisted. And I worked with people that would not call the military bases the new names. They called them the whole, and now they reverted back to the old historical names. And they found like the brother of the Confederate general, and they named it after the brother that did not fight for the Confederacy and still kept the name. Same with the Gulf of Mexico. What's the difference of naming the military bases done by Biden? Now people are okay with Trump doing it. It just shows you we pick and choose, and I'm the same way. And I did it out of respect to our fellow Americans. I didn't want people of color have to call a military base after a Confederate general. I thought that was a good thing for America, but no. Gulf of America was just a PR stunt, like the Department of War, in my opinion. This is my opinion. You can disagree with me. I'm not here to have a political battle. I'm here to show the beautiful architecture of Galveston, Texas. We'll let the comments fly, because that's what's happening. Just don't be disrespectful of other people in the chat. Understand that not everybody agrees with your opinion. You don't have to agree with my opinion. I don't have to agree with yours. This is America. And this is what makes America great, is that Americans don't agree about everything. And how do we keep all this together in a very multicultural, diverse society? And people want to go back to monoculture. You can go back and live in the 50s. Maybe it worked for you. It didn't work for women. It didn't work for minorities and people that didn't fit into the stereotypical gender roles. Here's and I'm a heterosexual white male, so I'm pretty normal as far as sexuality. So here's whatever that is. There's not normal, abnormal. See, now I'm going to offend people that are more diverse here. Here, look at the beautiful porches here. This is Galveston, Texas. Thanks everybody for tuning in here. They got it decorated for Christmas time here. Look at the beautiful, where are we at here? We're at 15th Street and Sealy. 15th Street and Sealy, Galveston, Texas. We got a beautiful 70-degree day here. Thanks for tuning in. Look at the Christmas decorations here. Look at the blue skies. We got 20 degrees Celsius, a beautiful day here. Sunshine here. The Julius R. Rule residence, that's what they call this. And look at that. How you doing? Beautiful. A native of Prussia, Julius H. Rule came to Galveston in 1872. Mercantile firm of Kaufman and Runge until his death. Constructed in 1874. This building was 1874. This survived the 1900 Galveston hurricane. Look at that fountain. Look at this. Look at that Italianate there. Got the shutters for the window. You close those when you get the storms. But here, Galveston, Texas. We'll get another view of the Sacred Heart Church, the Holy Family, and the Bishop's residence over here. Yeah, 400K. Again, I'm not a real estate developer. I'm just walking down the street. It's free to walk down the street. I don't own anything here. I'm not pushing Galveston. I live in Chicago. Most of the time I stream in Chicago. I'm on vacation. I'm happy to highlight the beautiful areas of Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, Houston suburbs, Galveston, Texas. We were in River Oaks area. Very expensive area of Houston. I'm not promoting one area over the other. I just want to show palm trees. Come on. Everybody reads so much into everything I do. Here's there it is. There's the we went inside there, so if you rewind this, you can see the beautiful Church of the Sacred Heart there, and there's the Bishop's residence. And here we'll show you this beautiful housing here. Hey, there's the American flag, the Texas flag. Welcome to Galveston. How's everybody doing? So we'll stream here a few hours. Well, I'll try to make it to the Strand. I want to get up to where that cruise ship. There's a cruise ship. There's people riding bikes here past the Church of the Sacred Heart there. Look how nice that is. Look at the flying buttresses. We went inside that thing. We looked up inside that dome. Here, look at this housing here. So here, yeah, the William and Adele Skinner house. Yeah, we already showed this. So we already walked down this street. I'll walk around here. Galveston's beautiful. Hey, Jeff, you know what I mean there. Man, John, how you doing? It's Texas sunshine. Yeah, thanks, one Golden Nubian. Thanks. You know, I try to reach out. People, I'm not trying to win people over. I'm just trying to get people to stop making accusations, you know. I don't understand. Everybody has an agenda. Thanks so much, one Golden Nubian, for being on. I appreciate it. And Sean and everybody else. And if you got something else to do, I understand. I can handle it, but I appreciate the help here. Hey, they're working on this. Hey, they got some construction. So we're 13th Street in Sealy. So I'm going to zig up to the other street. We're going to see if we see some more housing here. It's just nice to see palm trees. And yeah, I'm on meth. You figured it out. Hey, call the authorities. Say Brian Really Chicago's on meth. I'm easy to find. They can tune in the police are probably watching my stream right now. So I can get you for slander. I'll take a blood test right now. I'm not on meth. You said I'm on meth, so you're slandering my name there. Why would you do that? Maybe you're on meth. Hey, thanks for tuning in. See, now I slandered you. Here, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Galveston, Texas. How's everybody doing? Shows you the maturity level of people in the comments. Can you appreciate this architecture? Why are you watching? You know, here's I know why you're watching. You want to make yourself feel superior to me. Hey, if I can make you feel superior by looking down on me, that's my good deed for the day. See, you got all the answers. You got it all figured out. Here, Ball Street, Ball and 13th, Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, we'll just zig and zag and check out. Hey, look at these birds. The blackbirds are going to get me. But hey, we got some garland on the white picket fence. Yeah. Hey, that breeze feels nice. I'm going to head up to that cruise ship. Has anybody taken a cruise from Galveston? I guess, I think my sister and her family has. You just drive down here to catch a cruise out into the Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of Texas. Look at that. I have no agenda. I'm on vacation. I'm just checking out the architecture and these beautiful sculptures. Where are you going? Isn't that something about Western society that I reject, is that you always feel like you need to have a goal and a destination, which is like progress and capitalism and making money all the time and goals, you know. Sometimes it's good just to be here now. I'm not trying to get all Buddhist on you, but I'm more like a hippie. I really have no agenda on my own. I'm just, this is my vacation. This is what I do. If I wasn't streaming, I would be doing the exact same thing. I would be walking down these streets, checking out the beautiful Christmas decorations, because you got to live in the moment. Enjoy this. Enjoy this beautiful sunshine. Enjoy this day. Seize the day. Go out there and just enjoy your environment. It's free to walk down the street. We all sit there. I would just be sitting in my basement, all woe is me, all scrolling through the internet, all get outside, breathe some air, walk down the streets. I know you might not be as warm where you're at. If you were picture perfect, not a cloud in the sky, 70-degree day, gentle breeze, Galveston. I went to the beach and saw the sunrise this morning. Whatever you say is not going to ruin my day, you know, so do your worst. It's almost becomes a game where people try to affect my mood in the comments. It's funny. When I'm in a good mood, I can handle it. And here, let's go. Patty Cakes Bakery. It's almost laughable, you know. You're like, if you can't enjoy this, I don't think you can enjoy anything. So I feel sorry for you if you can't enjoy the sunshine in Galveston and beautiful architecture and just a passive day. Eventually, we'll get over to that building. That's the tallest building in Galveston. And we're just checking out the architecture here. So where are we at? Winnie Street. Is there any beautiful houses down that way? Yeah, let's go down that way. 14th and Winnie. Mosquito Cafe. Here's the Mosquito Cafe. There are a few commercial strips here. This is 14th Street. Yeah, this heads right down to the Bishop's residence there. Go Bears. Yeah, go Bears. They play tomorrow night, right? 7:20. I think Shauna gave me the good information there. Yeah, the Bears play at 7:20. I guess they got the evening game. We saw last night, we were at the Strand. You can see it. I clipped it out there for YouTube. We saw some fellow Midwesterners, upper Midwest from Minnesota. They were there in Galveston having a drink, watching the live music. And I was like, hey, the Vikings beat Detroit. I know my Detroit friends here in mourning. Detroit had such promise this season, but no one saw the Bears having such a good season, even the Bears fans. Here's there, 1414. Look, they got the gifts there. Look at the quaint housing here. There's the little geckos, the little lizards. See, typical housing. We saw you could rent a one-bedroom just a block away from the beach, $975. Rent a one-bedroom, one-bath, $975 a month, Galveston, Texas. I'm not a real estate agent. I don't know the prices of things. I don't know if that's expensive or cheap for this market. Some of the housing is really expensive here, of course, because you're a beach town and some historic housing, but I think there's some really good deals in this town too. If you look, here's a little gecko. How you doing there, gecko? What do you say? Yeah, you went down in the crack there. No, you can't satisfy anybody. No. Yeah, that's why I'm enjoying the vacation. Look, they're working on these houses. Sun comes out and they're working on the painting there. Look at that. Double porches. Yeah, so this is some of the same stuff you find in New Orleans here. I got something in my shoe here. I got to stop. I got a thorn in my shoe here. Hold on. What's the odds of me getting a thorn in the back of my heel here? Okay, good. So here, let's go one more street here. There's some of the streets don't have sidewalks. This is Galveston. I noticed this. Yeah, where's the sirens? Yeah, I'm used to the sirens in Chicago. It's pretty quiet. It's pretty peaceful here. Nice quiet beach down here, Galveston, Texas. You met your dad met your mom there. Brought the whole family to Alabama. Hey, Tweaker Tube, that's great. So hey, you got a Galveston, Texas connection. What a beautiful town there. Yeah, I could see there was sing the Galveston song there. Hey, happy Saturday, Lambie T. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, if you missed it earlier, we caught some beautiful architecture there. And we went inside the church. But now we're just checking out the historic housing of Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Later today, this afternoon, so I'll stream this morning. I'll break for lunch, recharge my stuff. Here's a Texas truck. There's a Texas truck here. We're at 16th. and Winnie, Galveston, Texas. We'll go to the Moody. I'm planning to go to the Moody Gardens this afternoon. They got rainforest, they got like animals, they got an aquarium. Look at that cruise ship. We're gonna eventually get, okay, there's a beautiful building up here, this red brick building. This is one on my list that I wanted to document here. I'm trying to document as many, look at that garage. Document as many of these historic houses in Galveston while we're here, because I'm gonna head back to Houston suburbs late tonight. I thought about getting another hotel, but I want to spend time with my sister, my nephews, my dad, my brother-in-law. And then we got the rest of next week. I'm going to stay down in Texas through the New Year's. Usually we shoot off fireworks with my nephews. I saw Ernesto Chicago Nuggies. He did his promo. He's going to live stream the Chicago fireworks, which happen an hour after New York's for New Year's Eve. I saw Alexander Chicago is going to be streaming them too. Some of the other Chicago live streamers, I don't know which ones, if Overtime Seb or Nick or Jennifer. I don't know who's City Walking Girl. I don't know who's going to be, else is going to be streaming the fireworks. But I'm not, because I'm going to be in Texas. And I'll be watching their stream. Here's, yeah, we're at Church and 16th Street here, Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good Saturday morning here, 10:50 in the a.m. A beautiful 71-degree day, picture perfect here. You couldn't ask for better weather. Look at those buildings. We might check them out. I want to check out this red brick one before I forget it here. And we'll head over to, I want to check out that cruise ship before it leaves too. Yeah, this is nice for, it's good to get out of the cool weather sometimes, you know. I saw it was raining in Chicago for Christmas. Yeah, safety travels. Thanks. Thanks, Moros. Thanks, Nah. SA. Julie, how you doing there? Good morning. Look at these beautiful palm trees. Yeah, look at this house. So this is a classic example of some of the Victorian castle-like residences that are in Galveston, Texas. It shows you the wealth that was concentrated here when Texas in the 1800s, it was a shipping, and you know, before what this city could have become if it wasn't destroyed by the hurricane in 1900. It kind of set back its growth and things moved to Houston after that. But hey, look at the, what is this street? 16th and Post Office. This is 16th and Post Office Street, Galveston, Texas. And there should be a plaque. Yeah, there's a historic plaque there, so we'll get you the history of this beautiful, look at that balcony. It's like New Orleans there. This, let's see if it tells us the style so I don't get it wrong. I'm not an architect here. So hey, Texas Historical Commission, the Landys McDonough House, Landes Landys McDonough House. Oh no, he was a Confederate veteran and capitalist. So of course, a veteran of the Confederacy. We are in Galveston. Had this house built in 1887, designed by prominent architects George Dickey and Houston and D.A. Helmick. This house reportedly provided refuge to some 200 people during the disastrous 1900 hurricane. So 200 people sought refuge in here because it was built well enough to survive the 1900 hurricane. Acquired by Dominican Sisters in 1954 to house the Fine Arts Center. So the Dominican Sisters ran it. It's a Victorian. This is a Victorian structure from the Romanesque. It also has Romanesque. So it's, a lot of these are hybrids. It's Victorian Romanesque hybrid. And here, Galveston, Texas. Look at this amazing residence here. So 200 people survived the 1900 Galveston hurricane by seeking refuge in this building. I can't believe they could fit 200 people in that building. That shows you they were really crammed in there. And they probably went to the second floor because there was storm surge. And I bet you the basement was flooded. H&L signature cheesecakes. Hey, thanks for the good information there. Florence, Italy. Wow. So we don't have architecture to rival Florence, Italy, but this is some of the best architecture in the United States from the 1870s, 1880s, and 1890s here in Galveston, Texas. And some of it was destroyed by the hurricane. And it was all modeled after Italian and French and European architectural styles, which a lot of them are Renaissance styles, you know. Go back to Botticelli and Michelangelo. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Galveston, Texas. We're in Galveston, Texas. We'll check. Okay, so I want to go down this street. This street looks like we'll go down Post Office Street. Yeah, let's check out Post Office Street. Hey, thanks, the Joker. How you doing here? You enjoying this? Good. Thanks, everybody. Galveston, Texas. We got 10:54 in the AM. Galveston, Texas. 70 degrees. It's about 20 degrees Celsius. Not too bad. That breeze feels really nice. Look at that double porch. It's like New Orleans. Yeah, let's check out these porches. This looks like a really nice street here. 16th and Post Office. There, that's for sale. It's an apartment building. See, I bet you can get a 1-bedroom in those little apartment buildings for $1,000 a month. You could live in Galveston in the wintertime if you could afford that. Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, we're lucky. Lucky to be here on a beautiful day. The weather is really cooperating here. Look at the sun hitting these porches here, Galveston. See, this one's for sale. Kathy McBee. I have no idea what it costs. You can look it up here. It's 1610 Post Office Street here, Galveston, Texas. And I'm not a real estate agent. I'm a tourist. I'm here from Chicago. I'm a snowbird. Come down here to visit my sister and brother-in-law. Holiday time, usually make this trip every December, stay through New Year's, and then I head back to Chicago to face the cold, brutal winter. But that's why I'm soaking up this sunshine. I got the sunscreen on. We're enjoying the day here. Thanks for tuning in, Galveston, Texas. Look at this beautiful. I want to get up to this cruise ship. Eventually we'll go up to the harbor there in the Strand. Yeah, it's beautiful. Barbecue, yeah, get some Texas barbecue. Yeah, we usually get some good pulled pork here. Get a brisket sandwich. I did that rerun of Buc-ee's. You can get a brisket from Buc-ee's. Wow, look at the size of this porch. Look at the size of this housing, Galveston, Texas. Look, that one's a fixer-upper here, 17th and Post Office. Look, they got the nutcrackers. Look at that, the screened-in double porch on the roof on the second story here. Is this one for sale? No, it's a bed and breakfast. It's called the Mansion on 17th. So this is a bed and breakfast. You could stay here. I just discovered this. I did not know this was a bed and breakfast. So I guess there's probably several bed and breakfasts in this area of Galveston, Texas. And we're on 17th and Post Office. Look at this beautiful housing here. $500,000. $500,000. Thanks for looking that up, VB381. Appreciate it. Thanks for the good information. Thanks for helping me out there. Appreciate it. Look at this. So I guess all these are at least $500,000. That one's probably $1 million, over $1 million. This one's several million the size of it because it's a hotel or a bed and breakfast. But those are probably $500,000 at least, I'm guessing. And here we're on Post Office here, Galveston, Texas here. This might be a bed and breakfast too here. Look at these. Look at that green, that teal one. Look at these porches here. Man, this is nice. Look at that teal porch there. You seeing that color? Galveston, Texas. I'm really liking this. Yeah, if you buy it, it'll be worth $7 million there. So hey, get it on, invest in real estate. There you go. Let's see what the taxes are. There's yeah, that's got a plaque on it. Look at that. Beautiful residence here. Post Office and 18th. We're near the corner of Post Office and 18th here, Galveston, Texas. So you see why I wanted to walk. I waited till the sunshine. I didn't want to film this in the dark. We want to get the nice bright sunshine here hitting these facades so we can document the painting. Yeah, Cash. You want Cash? Hey, Toronto. Thanks for tuning in. That's good. Thanks for checking out Galveston, Texas here. So here we're at Post Office and 18th. the ocean, the beach is that way. That cruise ship's up that way. So here we'll head around. Look at these porches. Galveston, Texas, Post Office Street, 18th. Look at that. Look at how they have to paint all that detail. Look at the shutters. See, you got the shutters on the windows that protects the window. There's the bells of that church over there. It's 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock's all's well. Hey, they got the volleyball net there. That's nice. The bells of that steeple over there. Galveston, Texas. It's gonna ring 11 times. 11 a.m. There it is. So 11 a.m. Central Time Zone, North America, Galveston, Texas. 70 degrees, 20 degrees Celsius. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, there's not many utility poles. I bet you they're all underground because of the hurricane. I think probably when there's been several hurricanes that hit Galveston even recently. There's more palm trees here now than there used to be. So there's the tallest building in Galveston. We'll get up to the Strand. Here, the Galveston Bible Church. And there's the cruise ship. There's a giant cruise ship over there. So I think there's 2 ships. And we were there last night, and I didn't see any cruise ships. So both these cruise ships must have came in overnight. And we'll show you the size. And that also helps out Galveston that it's a you know, where you start and end your cruise. And I guess people might stay a night here before their cruise. Well, okay, I'm not for sure if this is the tallest building. There's some condo residential buildings at the east end of the island that might be just as tall as this. This is the tallest building in downtown Galveston by the Strand, where, you know, and so there might be some residential condo towers near the beach that might be just as tall, but not much taller than that. Now, Houston has many taller buildings. This is not Houston, this is Galveston. I guess Galveston is considered to be a suburb of Houston, but Galveston was its own town even before Houston was, or it's about the same time Houston was founded. So the Battle of San Jacinto is north of here. That's where Sam Houston defeated Santa Anna. That was in the 1830s, the Texas Republic. And here's Leslie's new and better used furniture. Look at this jellyfish mural. There's a nice jellyfish mural on the side of this building. Yeah, no graffiti. There's a mural here. I didn't see any graffiti. Last night we went by the Strand. I saw some murals like this, which are saying, you know, they're commissioned to artists to do. Yeah, isn't that nice? Look, for sale here. So look at this facade here. You can call Chris Terry there. Yeah, peaceful live stream. Thanks for being a part of it, boss. Yeah, we're trying to tamp down the rhetoric there. I'm trying not to. I need to do a better job facilitating this, not to get people going there. I'm sure my mods would agree. Here, the Church of the Living God. So thanks for tuning in. The beautiful day helps here. 1802 Market, or Market Street 18th here. We're going to see if there's any more historic housing here, and then we're going to head over to the Strand. And then we're going to see if we can see those cruise ships. That's a good place there. House of God. Look at that roof. That's a tin roof on top of that brick building. There, look at these porches. So hey, the historic housing here. This is an historic district, Galveston, Texas. A lot of houses for sale. Look at the shutters. See how you can close up the shutters? Maybe this one's not being lived in right now. See, sometimes the sidewalk turns kind of crazy. See, this is where the sidewalk ends. Galveston, Texas. Now, it's not Chicago. This is Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I'm on a Texas trip. I normally stream from Chicago, but I'm on holiday, vacation, Christmas time. I came down to visit my sister, my brother-in-law, my 3 nephews. My father's with them. I took this side trip to Galveston to go to the ocean. Picked a nice day. We got 70 degrees. Went to the beach. We live streamed last night. We're checking out the beautiful historic housing here in Galveston, Texas. This is nice. We're walking on grass here. Look at that sidewalk. It's just stones. There's the cruise ship. Yeah, let's go over, see if we can catch this cruise ship here. 17th and Market. It's 39 degrees. Oh, you're coming to Galveston for a cruise. Hey, that's great. Well, let's check out these cruise ships. Yeah, a lot of people catch cruises here. You don't have to go to Florida. I think Corpus Christi, you can catch them, and Galveston. And New Orleans, you can catch cruise ships in New Orleans too. I saw a big giant cruise ship head down to Mississippi there. It was interesting seeing that float past the French Quarter. A big giant cruise ship. It was really large. Going down to Mississippi there. There's Santa. There's Santa on the porch, Galveston, Texas. See, this is better homes and gardens. You get ideas. Look how they got all the plants sitting out here. Nice landscape picket fence. Look how nice it looks in the sun. There's a cat. There's a black cat. The cat just jumped on the fence there. Let's see if the cat says hello. A lot of cats. See, this one's on the market too. Premier Properties there. Talk to Sherry Salazar there. What do we got here? 1900. Is that what this is? 1614. This is Main. Is this Market Street? Market Street. Galveston, Texas. So I think some of these houses are made out of wood. See, this one needs some repair. Some of the more substantial ones are made out of brick and stone. So not all of them are the same material. Some of them are, like that one's brick at the bottom, but probably wood at the top. Again, a hurricane came through here in 1900, destroyed most of the town, and they rebuilt it. Some of the buildings survived. If they survived that hurricane, they were really well built, probably made out of stone and brick. And then some of these built after this. There's a cruise ship, NCL. I don't know what cruise line that is. Let's head up there. Let's see if we can get up to see that cruise ship. So we got 11:06. I'll probably stream until at least noon. I'll eventually get some lunch. How's my battery doing? 69%. Okay. Oh, the palm trees are great. That's why you can squint your eyes and feel like you're in Florida, even though we're in Texas, Galveston, Texas, or California. The weather helps out. So the weather varies a lot. Sometimes it can get really cold here in the wintertime. It can get down to 32, or sometimes it snows briefly, but then it can get really warm. It can get to 80 degrees. Rarely. It's rare for it to get 80 degrees in the wintertime. It'll get to 70 because it'll be 80 inland. And there, let's go up towards that. See that big parking garage is blocking the path there. It's a holiday place for me because it's warmer than Chicago. I don't think Galveston is a huge tourist destination. It's probably more people go to Disney World than but people do catch cruises here. People from Houston take day trips to come to the beach. You know, my brother-in-law has brought my nephews here to go to the beach. It's a long drive. There's usually a traffic jam to get here. I had to go through a traffic jam to get here yesterday. And it was just the volume of traffic trying to get out here. But hey, look at the nice, yeah, let's head over towards the Strand here. Yeah, we'll walk down Mechanic and 16th here. We'll head towards the Strand here. Yeah, it's stunning. It helps, the sun helps here. Look at this nice row of houses here. Galveston, Texas, palm trees. Yeah, I'm liking this. You can make these houses with pop sticks. That's what they look like. Yeah, they're pop stick houses with the porch. All the banisters and railings. Oh, the bike week. They got a bike week in November. Yeah, this would be an excellent place to ride a bike because there's not much traffic. The streets are flat. And there's not, yeah, I mean, once you get here, there's not much traffic because the island's kind of a dead end. There's a ferry that goes over to the Boulevard Peninsula, which you can, there's beach houses that way. And if you go the other way, you can go towards, has anybody ever gone to, what's the name of that beach on the other side there? Surfside Beach. Has anybody gone to Surfside Beach? Some of the houses go right down to the ocean. You can rent beach houses right on the ocean, like right on the beach. They'll all wash away the next hurricane, but they'll just build them back. Yeah, let's head over to the Strand here. We're 17th and Mechanic here, Avenue C. This is Galveston. But see, look, there's hardly, if you ride a bike, there's hardly any traffic. There are bike lanes on some of the roads they just added. There's that cruise ship. We'll see it if we get over there. Yeah, it's the Gulf of Mexico. That's what gets me in trouble. People want me to call it the other name, but you know, Gulf of America. I call it the Gulf of Mexico, just like I call it the Sears Tower. I know it's the Willis Tower, and you can call it whatever you want. It's part of the Atlantic Ocean there. It's sea level, part of the ocean. All the oceans are the same level: Indian, Arctic, Pacific, Atlantic. Yeah, Lady Sings. You visited Galveston a month ago. Hey, that's great. Thanks for checking it out here. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. 7:26. Yeah, thanks for the little emojis there. Dave, Moros, thanks everybody. India Reed, thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, Mechanic and 18th here. Yeah, let's head right to the downtown here. We'll go by this commercial building and we'll get to a more warehouse commercial district here as we head into downtown Galveston. I want to show those beautiful buildings on the Strand, the cast iron facades that are painted. We saw them last night, but it was dark, so we saw them lit up at night. Now we'll see them in the daytime. And here we'll head around here. Warehouse space for rent. I always thought if you could, maybe you could rent cheap artist space here. If you're an artist and you want a warmer climate in the wintertime. I know New Orleans has a nice art market, but it's more expensive probably than Galveston. Galveston's about the same, I guess. I don't know, for loft space. Hey, authentic Mexican food here, La Mixteca. Galveston, you get your Tex-Mex. I like that. Yeah, New Orleans is getting expensive, I agree, especially the Garden District. And the French Quarter was always expensive, you know. Remember, Cokie Roberts grew up around there. She would always talk about, she actually grew up in the French Quarter before she became a news correspondent. That's, I guess, how she got the name Cokie. There's a bike lane. So hey, we got a bike lane. I want to cross the street. Here's some traffic coming. Here's a bar. So we're at 19th and Mechanic here, Galveston, Texas. We'll cross the street. We're across from this tall building here. Here's the bike lane. So there's bike lanes on this street, 19th Street. That heads the beach is that way. We'll head to the downtown here. So we'll go. Look how you can look underneath the columns, the tall columns. Galveston, Texas. Wood bead board construction frame house, 1924. Thanks, Andrew, for the good information. Thanks, Shauna, for the time and temp there. Yeah, I get the same thing. There's no people here. I guess it's 11, 12 in the a.m. We got the whole place to herself. Let's see if there's anybody on the Strand. There was people on the Strand. It was like this last night. There was like hardly anybody on the streets except for the Strand. Here, CF Marshiner building, 1905. There, Texas Bottling Works. Galveston Automotive Professional. Look at that. They built that sky bridge for that parking garage so people can get across the street for this building. Get a skywalk in Galveston. There's no one on the street. There's no one up there either. There. Karma Lofts. Yeah, I wanted to send the warm weather to Ohio. Thanks for watching from Ohio, Rob. Dave. Yeah, there's a marker there. It was 1905. It was a warehouse here. The Seafarer Center. Yeah, if I missed something there, I know I missed some information there. People were looking This is called the American National Insurance Company. The American National Insurance Company, that's the name of this tower. It's got lofts there that you could rent the balcony there. 20th Street Mechanic. We'll head one block up and we'll go up the Strand. We were here last night, so let's walk right before we do the Strand. We'll walk up to the shipping channel north of the island here. We're on Galveston Island here in Galveston, Texas. I saw I think there's 2 cruise ships here that we'll be able to see, and we'll show you the scale of it here. Oh yeah, it easily beats the weather in Chicago. I agree. That's why I got out of Chicago. Even though it warmed up, it still was not as warm as this. We got to 80. It'll get to 83 degrees tomorrow forecast in Houston. That's why I'm heading back there. There's a Galveston alley. See, we got the covered sidewalks, which provides shade from the sun, and it also shelters you from the rain. It rains a lot in Galveston, as it does in New Orleans. And we'll head to the coffee roasters, manufacturers of candy and peanut butter. The peanut butter warehouse in Galveston, Texas. There's the Drunk Monkey. So here's the Strand. We'll Strand and 20th Street. We'll go visit the Strand here in a second. We're going to go check out the waterway here. See, they got trolley lines, but the trolleys no longer run on the tracks. They got automobile tires on the trolleys, but they kind of take the same route. And we were here last night, the Strand and 20th. We'll head up to the there's a way you can overlook the water, the shipping channel here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in here, Bossy Truthy, XRT fan. Yeah, the overhangs. So the Harbor House, coffee roasters, manufacturers of candy and peanut butter warehouse, Galveston, Texas. Plenty of parking. There's a cruise ship. And there's a cruise ship. So let's check out these cruise ships. Wow, look at the size of these cruise ships. Galveston, Texas. We missed the light, so we'll head over this way. But look at the size of these cruise ships here, Galveston, Texas. How many stories here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At least 12 stories. That cruise ship. Wow. So here, let's head this way. Let's catch this one. Look at the size of these cruise ships, Galveston, Texas. Does anybody live stream from a cruise ship? Look who put this in the way here. I gotta walk around this sign. Holy moly. Billionaires. Take it. No, we won't let them take beef. I'm a meat eater. I ain't gonna let them take the beef away. We went to the Fort Worth stockyards. I'm a omnivore. I still eat red meat. There's 3 cruise ships. There's 2 here, and then there's 1 over there. How you doing? Look at the size of these cruise ships here. Look at that. Galveston, Texas. Oh, I already ate some barbecue. We ate some barbecue at Christmas. My brother has a smoker, and you go down the street. They every day they make a new batch, and then eventually they sell out, and you got to get there before they sell out to get the Texas barbecue. Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Pulled pork. You get the brisket. Yeah, I've been eating really good here in Texas. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, it's across the street here, Harborside Drive. And I want to show you the size of these cruise ships. Thanks for tuning in, Galveston, Texas. Checking out. You can look it up online. So the population of Galveston, what is it, 30, 40,000? It's I don't know off the top of my head. You got the internet right there. You could type in Galveston, Texas, Wikipedia. It'll tell you the population. Thanks for the question. I don't work for the Tourism Bureau. I'm a guy from Chicago. It's just a tourist here on a day trip. Well, I spent the night. I got a hotel, and now we're going to go over to Moody Gardens in the afternoon. I just want to check out this harbor here. See, there's downtown Galveston. There's the cruise ships. We're here. We're going to come down and see the Strand right here, the Strand. See, we were over in this area. This is a map of Galveston Harbor House Hotel Marina. That's where we're at. If you're trying to find me on a map. They got a sunset tour. They got haunted harbor tours. Burial at sea. You can get your burial at sea historic harbor tour. Sunset tour. They all kinds of boat tours. You can take airplane rides. Here's Willie G's. It was sitting full last night. See across the way, they got big, they work on the oil. They bring in the oil derricks from the Gulf. There's a lot of oil industry. Texas cities north of here, all the refineries. You go up to Pasadena, you see all those giant tanks. You drive by them, the big oil tanks. And Houston is a huge area for the oil industry, as is Galveston. And the offshore oil rigs. And they work on them. And the cruise ships, you can catch a cruise ship here. Let's go out here and check it out. You want to check the menu? Okay, I'll get it on the way back there. Well, I think they have the menu posted there. Or you can look it up online. I'm sure it's posted online. But hey, I'll try to catch it here. I'm trying to get these cruise ships. So, yeah, we got some more sculptures here. Galveston, Texas. We got 70 degrees. We got 11:20 in the a.m. There's the Carnival Jubilee. So there's the Carnival Jubilee cruise ship moored at docked at Galveston. It's like 12-story tall. See, they got this little Pier 21. There's another cruise ship over there. Yeah. Look at that. Ocean Star. Look at that. I wonder if that's an offshore oil rig or something there. Look at that thing. Or they work on them. That's what. Oh, there's a battleship. That's a destroyer. Is that a destroyer or is that a battleship? That looks like a destroyer. I wonder if you could tour that. Can you tour that? Is that permanently moored there? I know we did the USS Texas, which was moored up by San Jacinto, but the San Jacinto Monument at the closer to Houston there, but they removed it for repairs, and I don't think it's back yet. We did do the aircraft carrier in Corpus Christi last year. And I just posted a rerun from the San Antonio Riverwalk this morning. Oh, they got their own police force. What, Carnival Cruise Line? Is that, or Galveston? Yeah, Galveston has a police force. Yeah, the weather's good. Yeah, cruise ship's missing. Yeah, there should be one like right here. Cruise ship's missing. It's still out at sea. So here, we'll see if we see the menu here. Here's Scuba Steve. We saw Scuba Steve last night. There, the dolphin tours. Here's the Harbor House, Pier 21 here. Okay, so we'll see if we see a menu here for, what's it called? Willie G's cocktails here. Yeah, here's the menu. We'll check it out. Willie G's seafood steaks here. Let's check out the menu. So hey, we got dinner menu, redfish, blackened catfish. There's your prices. Crab, salmon, shrimp, platters, side dishes, steaks and poultry appetizers, oysters and half shell, gumbo and bisque. There, come to the Willie G Seafood, Galveston, Texas, here right at Pier 21. So here, let's head back to the Strand there. We'll show you the Strand. Too expensive. Yeah, it's too expensive for me. People often criticize me. They're like, why do you promote all this expensive stuff? I said, do you ever see me buy anything? Do you see me eating there? No, I can't afford it either. TikTok doesn't pay that well. Neither does YouTube. But hey, I do it for free. I do it for just the human connection here. Other people enjoy this. Here's the parking rates. All day 21, Pier 21. I don't know if people, I guess the cruise ships have their own parking garages, it looks like. So Willie G's, Harbor House, Hotel Marina. We'll cross here to Harborside, and here we got the light. Perfect timing here, so let's cross. We'll head back to the Strand here. Here's some of these electric, you can rent these, electric golf carts that are made to look like antique cars. And we'll see them going up and down the Strand here. Galveston, Texas. Oh, it's a naval museum. Thanks, Shauna. So that destroyer's a naval museum, and it closes at 5 p.m. Thanks for the good information. Yeah, they're here. Groovy Guy and Coffee. So there's food trucks in Galveston. Look at the brick cobblestone street here. We got the old trolley line. But here, this is right up my alley here. The Groovy Grind Coffee Company. This hippie van, branded. And there, the people getting coffee here. Yeah, how you doing? Yeah, look at this. Groovy Kind Coffee. How you doing? Beautiful morning here. So here, let's head over to the Strand. Let's see what's shaking. What does it matter when I arrived? Where have you been? I know this might be the first time you watch my channel. Thanks for... Why is it important when I got here? I don't know. But yeah, I've been here all week, so you can go rob my place there in Chicago. I know you can steal my furniture I got from the dumpster there. Yeah, it's great. Here's... No, we'll head down the Strand here. We'll... Thanks for the good questions here. Hey, how you doing? I'm on YouTube. Hey, thanks for saying hello. That's great. Thanks. So here, we saw this last night. They're supposedly going on a business. They got a lot of t-shirts and stuff here. So if you want some t-shirts, you get some underwear here. Play some good punk music. I like the Sgt. Pepper's. Hey, they got Kiss, David Bowie, Grateful Dead, Cheech and Chong, Jimi Hendrix. Are you experienced? Hey, Galveston, Texas. Here's some people. There's people on the Strand. Everybody's on the Strand here. So they got this blazing apple. You can get the drink here at the cantina here. They got tacos, burritos. Rooting for the Astros. Galveston, Texas. Yeah, here's the big shark head. You can walk through the mouth of the shark here. Look at this. Wow. Look at it. Look how nice this is. Yeah. Let's go up to the shark's mouth. They got the elf's legs for the mistletoe. Very nice. Galveston, Texas. The Strand here. We'll go right around here. Hey, they got all the Marylands. We saw this last night. 10 feet under. Three shirts for $10. See, look. It's the Gulf of America. We made it to the Gulf of America. You like the one in Wrigley there? Yeah, the Beatles. Sherry, how you doing there? Yeah, here's my credit card number. You ready? You ready to write it down? I'll give you my social security number too. You want my mother's maiden name? Here you go. Right? Ready? Okay. Here's free samples. Guns N' Roses? Ah. There you get your Bacon Bloody Mary free samples. Pelican Island. Helena Tattoos. Hey, how you doing? Hey, very nice day here on the Strand here. Pelican Island. Very nice. Look at this. Yeah. You got the sunglasses. You got the shoes. All kinds of stuff here on the Strand. Galveston, Texas. Galveston Visitor Center's this way. You gotta watch. You gotta step down. You gotta step down. I gotta watch where I'm walking. I'm missing comments here because I'm looking where I'm walking. I'm walking here. Yeah, nice murals here. We're at Kempner and the Strand here, Galveston, Texas. So here's some of the beautiful cast iron. I talk about the cast iron facades in Galveston. They have these in other cities, but there's an amazing concentration here on the Strand. Many of these buildings survived the 1900 hurricane because they got cast iron frames, and I'm sure the windows were blown out, but the facade remained. And that's why some of these buildings go back to the 1870s, 80s, and 90s, and they survived the... look how tall this door is. That's a 15-foot tall door, at least 20-foot tall door. Look at this, Gracie's. Here's Gracie's here. And there you can see the interior, even the interior of these ceilings. Look at this. Yeah, the Psychic and the Art Gallery, that's why. There's a device here. So you see all the gift shops here. Gracie's here. But yeah, this cast iron columns. Very solid built building. Pullman, how you doing there? Yeah, you say thanks for tuning in from Pullman. I know it's later in the day there. Yeah, we got 11:29 in the AM here. We're just before the noon hour here, and we got about 71 degrees. It's about 21 degrees Celsius, 22 degrees Celsius. Beautiful weather. Galveston, Texas. Old time feel, yeah, the old time feel, the Strand here. Snowy New York. Yeah, how much snow are you going to get in New York? I heard 7 inches. I hear there's an emergency weather. I have a friend of mine who lives in Buffalo. He says they're just getting sleet. And I guess upstate's getting a bunch of snow. The Adirondacks are probably getting a bunch of snow. New York City's supposed to get 7 inches, right? You're going to have a snowy New Year's. Is it going to stay for New Year's? Or that'll be interesting. So New York City's finally getting the snow. Chicago, we got our dose early in December, late November. We had snow. But it's all melted now. Last I heard when I left, it was all melted. But here, we'll head across here. We'll go across. Here's the easy shuttle here. Tremont and the Strand. There's the cruise ship. Look at the size of the cruise ship here. Galveston, Texas. There it is at the end of the street here. So here's the Sangerfest Park. Oh, Sangerfest Park, Galveston Historic Sea Park. Juneteenth. Yeah, so Juneteenth started in Galveston. So maybe in June some year we'll come here for the Juneteenth celebration. It started here in Galveston. Here's the cruise ship here. Look at that. Sangerfest Park. George Mitchell, son of Galveston. Yeah, I think people learned of the Emancipation Proclamation in the Confederate South and the defeat of the Confederacy on June the 19th, 1865. And that's when they heard of it in Galveston, even though the war was over for weeks. It took such a long time for news to travel. And of course, they didn't want the newly emancipated enslaved people to know it. So the news didn't hit until June the 19th that the Civil War was over and the North won. Here's greetings from Galveston. A lot of people moved their enslaved people to Texas because they thought Texas would still fight, but Texas surrendered as well. And the rest is history. We saw this last night. Only half of the tree was lit. It's like they couldn't reach the top. But here's the Strand here, Galveston, Texas. Thanks for tuning in here. They got, hey, look at this. They got the drinks here. And we'll head around here. It's starting to snow in Maine. Hey, thanks for tuning in from Maine. Yeah, beautiful New England there. So they got Mardi Gras in Galveston, February 6th to 17th. So you can go to Mardi Gras in Galveston. Chris and I are contemplating possibly a New Orleans trip for Mardi Gras, but we'll see. We might do it after Mardi Gras. Here's 1882, the Greenleaf Block Company building. Here it is. Again, cast iron facade. Look how they paint this, and look at this beautiful detailing. Cast iron columns. They paint them. Very solid built building. Galveston, Texas here on the Strand. Look at that. See those windows? See how you can walk in here? They got an interior. They can shut these doors to protect these inner windows. Look at that. Look how they designed this. Galveston, Texas. Hey, it's playing the bongos. Very nice. Nice atmosphere here. Very festive. December the 27th here. Oh, look at the cute dogs here. How you doing? Oh, thank you so much here on YouTube. How you doing, your doggies? How you doing? You enjoying the Strand? Thanks so much. Brian Really Chicago. I'm here from Chicago. So, hey, thanks a lot. Thanks. Awesome, hey, how you doing? Green Bay, hey, how you doing? Hey, it's going to be good in the playoffs. I met somebody from Minneapolis last night, so we're well represented. Midwest, thanks a lot. Very nice. See, Green Bay fans, look at that. Very nice. With Green Bay, isn't that awesome? So here, they got the cute dogs here. They brought their dogs here down to Galveston, Texas. Very nice. So we saw, people from Minnesota, people from Wisconsin, and people from Illinois were all down here. Snowbirds here enjoying Galveston, Texas. Very nice. So here's Tsunami. See, if I cross the street here, we'll get this beautiful building. Yeah, see, there's the old railroad station, Galveston, Texas. Isn't this great? You see those cute dogs? Yeah, the doggies. I'm glad you saw it. One golden newbie in there. Yeah, it reminds us of New Orleans. It does. See, that this building lost its cornice. I bet there was a cornice up there like that, and it started to fall off. and they just removed it. But that's the bottom's cast iron. I'm sure this one is too. It's stone, the combination there. The Hutchings and Sealy buildings here in Galveston, 1870 Mutual Insurance Company building. I think that's these buildings here. These go back to the 1870s. How you doing here? And so we'll head around here. Hey, they got some live music here. Yeah. Listen to the music. Yeah, we went by here last night. There were people sitting out here. Very nice. Hey, Galveston's best. There we go. Hey, look at that cruise ship. Galveston, Texas here. What a beautiful day. 70 degrees. Galveston, Texas, the Strand. We're seeing people from Green Bay and Minneapolis and Chicago all down here listening to the music. Look at that beautiful building. The Hutchings and Sealy building. Galveston, Texas. Look at that cruise ship. How many stories is it? Wow. So Galveston is south of Houston. It's by the Gulf of Mexico in Texas. It's not as far south as Corpus Christi. If you go really far south, you get to South Padre. We're well north of that. We're close to Houston, so we're just about an hour south of Houston. And we stayed by the beach here. And I'm here I came here yesterday, spent the night, and I'm gonna stream a little bit here, and then I'm gonna take a break, get some lunch, recharge my phone and stuff, and then we're going to do some live streaming from at least I plan to do some live streaming from the Moody Gardens, which is, you got to pay to go into that. I've got a ticket. I have never gone there. I've been going to Galveston since the early 2000s on different trips down here, visit my sister who lives in Texas, the Houston area, but I've never gone in that Moody Garden, so we'll check it out. I'm going to try to go inside this railroad museum here. I think you got to pay, but I just want to see what it looks like. I guess it's open today. Today's Saturday, and yeah, you can call it the Gulf of America. I've still called it the Gulf of Mexico. So are Americans going to fight each other over what we call the Gulf of Mexico? You know, are we really going to fight over? Were you angry when they renamed the military institutions and you said, oh, we're still going to call it the same name, and then now they reverted it back, and then the same thing will probably happen to the Gulf of America. We'll eventually get a new administration. No matter how healthy or unhealthy President Trump is, he ain't going to live forever. He can't be president forever. It's impossible. And so eventually there'll be a new administration, and it'll probably go back to the Gulf of Mexico. So enjoy it while it lasts. Here, Gulf Railroad Museum. Let's check it out here. There we go. So there's the Strand. We just walked down the Strand there. Yeah, I still call it Kaminsky. I still call it the Sears Tower. I still call it Kaminsky. I still call it Marshall Fields. And I still call it Carson Prairie Scott, even though it's the Gothic Target. And so us Chicagoans were set in our ways. See, look, even in Texas, open carry handguns prohibited. We're an open carry state, and they don't want people carrying their guns there, even over Texas here. Do all trains. Here's the Galveston Railroad Museum. Here it is. And Fort Crockett in World War I. This was where you used to be able to take trains and come right into Galveston here. Zimmerman Telegram, Galveston. So there's the Railroad Museum. This is the historic building here. And Galveston Railroad Museum. Once used by Jackie Gleason, the Bonnie Brook sleeper car. That's what this is. It's back here. Here's the Galveston Railroad Museum here. Look how nice this is. See all the people waiting on the trains here. Here's the newsstand. So I think this is where you get, here's the gift shop. Here's the city of Galveston. And they got the Christmas tree here. Here's the old waiting area for the train station here. There's a restaurant and gift shop. There's the Believe a meter. Hey, we can see some locomotives here. Look at this. So if you just joined, we're in Galveston, Texas. Here's the old Railroad Museum here. Railroad Museum, Center for Transportation and Commerce here, Galveston, Texas. There's the old trains, 2 old trains. They got a, I don't know what this is. I think you can just walk out here and let's check out the historic trains here. Look at this, wow. So yeah, these are old locomotives. There's the old push carts. Remember the push carts? You had to pump them up and down to get it to go. So if you just joined, this is Galveston, Texas. This is the Railroad Museum, or the Railroad Station Museum. There's an old Santa Fe. Look at the streamliner cars here. I guess you can walk up and look inside here. In honor of M.R. Ray Wells, Santa Fe engineer. There's the inside. It's hard to see here. But hey, look at this old steam locomotive, the streamliners. I wonder if we can get on these cars here. I like this push cart. Southern Pacific 314, 1892. Texas Central Railroad. Southern Pacific lines. Hyundai built the trains. Hey, T-Lime, thanks. Isn't this nice? Thanks for checking out the New York Central. Look, the New York Central trains. C, and C Railway. Hey, you can go on the trains here. Let's check them out here. Look at this. This center. Chris would love this. Hopefully Chris will see this here. The Center for Transportation and Commerce. We went to Union, Illinois. The same thing. The Illinois Railway Museum. And you can go on the trains there. So I've taken the Amtrak. We're talking about taking the Amtrak to New Orleans. Hey, they got it decorated for Christmas here. So this is the Galveston Railway Museum. It's at the old railroad station at the end of the Strand. Am I streaming okay? Sometimes I go in these cars. This is an old passenger car. And we'll see how far we can go here. City of Galveston. This is just like, it feels like I'm on the Amtrak here. Hey, we can keep going. Let's keep going. I think this is a sleeper car. So if you just joined the Galveston Railway Museum. Oh, this is a diner car. So here they got the kitchen. Hey, this is the dining car. Yeah, so you can sit at the table just like you're eating dinner. How you doing? The Polar Express. Here's it. How you doing? Here's the Railway Museum here, Galveston, Texas. Very nice. Look at this. So here we'll head to the other end here. You can walk from one end of this train to the other. Am I streaming okay? Looks real. It is real. Somebody will say this is AI. It's like we're on the train here. See, I didn't think we were going to take a train ride. There, we're back in the passenger. We're back in the passenger car here. They got all the windows darkened, but maybe it'll get too hot in here. Maybe the sun. That's why they do it. You like trains? Yeah, I like trains too. That is really live. So we got 11:42 in the AM here. We got December the 27th, 2025. You just joined. We're in Galveston, Texas. I don't normally stream from Galveston. I normally stream from Chicago, but I'm on holiday here because of the Christmas break, and we're visiting the trains here. I didn't even see if we can go on to maybe. Yeah, that one doesn't go, so we'll keep going here. Railway Express Agency, Louisville and Nashville. Let's go down here. Here's some BNSF. Here's an old locomotive. There you can see the engine. They got the door off, so you can look at those pistons. Man, look at it. Look at this engine to pull a big train. Look at that. How you doing? Here's the boxcar Santa Fe. Here's the dinette here. Let's get around here. I don't know if we're going to be able to go on any of these boxcars or not. It looks like. MBT, I'm glad you're seeing this. Yeah, isn't that cool? Yeah, this is live. Here's the dinette. Here's the dinette car. I think we already saw a diner car, but here's another one. Private rail car. Yeah, here's the diner. It's just like the one we saw earlier there. Here's the dining car portion of it. Some people, this is the only experience. I actually take trains. Here, let's see if we get to the caboose here. We took a train for real. last week to meet my dad at Effingham. I took the real Amtrak and live stream from there coming out of Chicago. Here's the locomotive. You can go up there and check out the locomotive. Let's check out the caboose here at the end. How you doing? So these trains, there it is, 1945 to 1986, the Engineer. These are really old. This is like probably from the 1920s. And look at this. There's a crane. There's one of the crane cars. They could load stuff in here. Here's a caboose. Let's see if we can get on this caboose. We were able to get a caboose. Chris and Brandon and I were able to get on a caboose in Union, Illinois. There's the Illinois Railway Museum. They don't use cabooses anymore because they used to look at the see if the wheels were burning. Here, see, there's the bunk beds. This is the old caboose. So people that work for the railroads, those were good jobs. You didn't have to pay taxes. You know how when you do your taxes, it says, are you blind or you work for the railroad? The railroad employees were tax exempted. I guess they still are. There's the old stove. We're in a caboose here. We're at the Galveston, Texas Railroad Museum of the railway station. And I think this is free. I didn't see any emission or anything. See, you used to sit up there. You would sit up there and you would look out. You could look up and down the train. These are the cabooses, and that's why the cabooses existed. They would be able to see if the wheels are on fire, and then they could cook their meals, and they worked on the train. They would ride along with the train. But the railroad workers, they don't use the cabooses as much anymore, or any at all. And I know I might be missing some information here. Yeah, it's a caboose. We're on a caboose here, the Galveston Railway Museum here. And yeah, look at the stove. There's the look at that. There's the chair, there's the bunk beds. Ha! Very nice. So here, let's go out of here. Yeah, the caboose. So here, let's look at this crane. Yeah, this is like an old Pullman car. There's the, oh, the train's gonna hit us. Thanks to Joker, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, thanks for checking out this. I think this is a free museum. We just walked through here. There, he's checking out the engine there. You can walk up there. It's very hard for me to see through the glare of the window. So I'll skip that. India, how you doing there? Deb D, Bossy Truthy, D Limes, Chyna, CHYNA. They might be leaving it in its old condition to show you it's just rusting away here. You know, the old America lost so much of its railroad infrastructure. You used to be able to get to almost all the towns by railroad. Now you can't. And even this station, this used to be a working train station. The reason all this rolling stock's just sitting here, this is no longer used as a train station. This was the end of the line because you can't go any further. It's the Gulf of Mexico. Here's a handicap thing. But look at this engine. You can see this diesel engine. I think this is a diesel locomotive, BNSF. Imagine the miles per gallon they get. They have to haul gallons and gallons, millions, thousands of gallons of fuel. Yeah, trains. You know, that's why we try to promote. That's why I show the transit in Chicago. People are interested in it. We got the Metra, the CTA, and the Amtrak still run to Chicago. We take it for granted that we got so many train lines. You can actually take it across country. That's why we see the Mennonites and the Amish taking it in Chicago. But here we're in Galveston, Texas. Thanks for checking out the Railway Museum. I did not know this was here. The Railroad Museum here, Galveston, Texas. That's where we're at. Playing the old music. They got the air conditioner going. So if you just joined, we're at the Center for Transportation and Commerce, the Railroad Museum, Galveston, Texas. We checked out some of these rail cars. And we're gonna walk out here. We got 11:48. I'm starting to get hungry. So what I'm gonna do, we're gonna walk for about another 20 minutes at least, because I'm going to head back towards where I parked my vehicle on the street. But not my vehicle, my dad's vehicle. And thanks to him for letting me borrow it to take this trip down here. I'm going to get some lunch. Eventually, we'll end this live. And you can watch the whole rerun if you missed it earlier. We started it at the Bishop's residence across from the Holy Family Church there in Galveston. I forget what the first part of it's called. I don't know. We went inside of it there. It's a beautiful church. And so we got Saturday, December the 27th here, 2025, 11:49 in the AM. There, you can get the Rail Yard Deli there. They got concessions. You can sit out here and check out the locomotive here, all the trains. Look how nice this is. We didn't even see these ones on the other side here. Here, let's quickly. There's all the old train lines there. Union Pacific, Santa Fe. We'll head over here to see the Sunset Limited. So here's the Texas Eagle, Santa Fe. Here's the Sunset. So this used to go to St. Louis. This used to go to Los Angeles through San Antonio. The train lines that used to connect Galveston. And private rail car. Look at this, 555. Look at this locomotive. Wow. Let's see if we can get on this train here. This might be an older train here. The Silverfoot. There's another caboose. It's barely a degree. Hey, no, this is not Chicago. This is Galveston. So thanks for tuning in to Galveston. This is the Illinois Central. We're in Galveston, Texas. So we're down by the Gulf Coast here. And let's see what this looks like. They don't want to let us walk through here, but look, this is older. This is a mail car. Look, welcome to Galveston, Texas. This is an old railroad mail car. So think of the old days where mail that wasn't air mail, went by railroad, and that's why in Chicago, think of Montgomery Ward's and Sears Roebuck, all those mail order catalogs. You ship stuff out on the rail. The mail itself, the orders would come on the railroad, and they would ship the orders. It was the Amazon, FedEx of the time. And this is a mail car. I've never seen this. Have you ever seen a mail car? U.S. mail. And look, they got a little. So that's what this is. Galveston Railway Museum here, Galveston, Texas. This was worth it. We just walked in here. We didn't pay an admission or anything. Illinois. I like showing the Illinois Central. Illinois Central Post Office, built by Pullman in January of 1914. It's an example of a rail post office car. Interior features 50 sorting cages, 744 pigeonhole slots. That's what we saw. Working on the post office car was very challenging. Each clerk had to memorize the zip codes of the route, what zip code they were at any given time. They were also targets for robberies because people shipped money through the mail. So all these mail cars were always subject to being robbed by Jesse James. Think of that. Look at that. The Pinkertons, they would put safes in here. Gold would be shipped from the mountains. Think of that. Wow. Hey, thanks for checking out the mail car here, Galveston, Texas. See the history we see? This is what we do. Mainly I show historic architecture, historic relics, railroad stuff, transit, stuff that affects cities. Who robbed who? I just use that as an example. Here, sleeper car, Glen Fee. Built by Pullman for the New York Central Railroad, July of 1906. The Glen Fee operated 20th Century Limited. It had 3 drawing rooms and 6 compartments. It's one of 2 surviving cars from the American Freedom Train of 1947. The Freedom Train was a publicity event featuring historic documents supporting such as the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and the Emancipation Proclamation. So they toured the country in this car. So this is a patriotic car here, Pullman, the Glen Fee. That's what this is called. Here's an old caboose. Let's see if we can get on this Pullman car. There's a Pullman car. So we're checking out the Galveston, Texas Railway Museum here. Let's see if we can get on this Pullman car. Yeah, I think we can get on the Pullman car. When's the last time you've been on a Pullman car? We went at the Illinois Railway Museum. Chris and Brandon and I did. Remember that? There's reruns of that. So we're on a Pullman car. There's the restrooms. Hey, here's the restrooms, the old Pullman restrooms here. Imagine how many people use this toilet. Hey, there I am. There's Brian Really Chicago. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in here. I'm all sweaty. Here's the closet. There in the pool. Let's see. Here's the sleepers. These are the Pullman sleepers. You sit below where you sleep. You can pull this down. You see how that retracts. Go ahead. Go through. Thank you. Appreciate it. Look at the details they got. This is a real Pullman car. The sleeper, you sleep above. You can sit below, and this would fold into a bed. So somebody slept below, somebody slept above. This folds up. You see how it folds up? We saw older versions where these were made out of wood. These are made out of metal. This is a Pullman car here in the Galveston, Texas Railway Museum here, where the old railway station is by the Strand. Isn't this nice? Yeah, I'm sweaty. I'm sweaty because it's hot. We're in Galveston, Texas. It's going to get 83 degrees tomorrow. It's been really hot. It's like 70 and humid. Here's another bathroom. Look at that big seat there. There's the toilet. Hey, look, here's the lounge. Here's the back of the Pullman car. So here's the lounge portion. You could ride in luxury and comfort here. Imagine traveling the country this way. They briefly, Amtrak, they offered it historic. It cost more. They would hook these up to the end. They were still old Pullman cars but not enough people took them, and they stopped offering that. But here, I think this is another Pullman car. This is like probably the dining. This is the stove, the cooking area. This is probably the dining car for the Pullman. So hey, thanks for checking out are we streaming okay? The Denver Rio Grande Western Railroad. Look. They got wood cabinets. This is on a train. This is a Pullman car. I didn't expect to see this. Look at these. I bet there's a science to how all this works. Yeah, they got the drawers, and look at that. Even up here. And there's the map. There's the map of the Rio Grande and Western Railroad. We're on a Pullman car. See all the rail lines that used to go across the United States. You can still take the Amtrak, but it's not the same. Here's a sleeper. So these are the one-room sleeper cars in the Pullman. See how these are very similar to what the Amtrak has now. It's the above and below there. Isn't this nice? Hey, here's a bathtub. Here's a restroom. They actually have a real bathtub, much bigger than most of the Amtraks. It's just like a stand-up shower now. I've rented a room where you got so you would share the bathroom. Here's the back, and they got a painting. They got this lounge car in the back. Can we get out here? I guess we can. Hey, we'll keep going here. So hey, we're checking out the Pullman's cars here at the Galveston. There it says Donald E. Harper. I thought it said Donald Draper. It's Donald E. Harper. See, they got the bed folded down on this side. Here's how when you sit here, these are more. See, you can fold that down. There's the sleepers above. And here, I guess there's more rooms here. It's like a maze. Yeah, see, there's the bunk beds. You got a little sink. So I wonder if these are how they were in the 50s, the 40s. I think it's from the 1940s. Look at that. So several people could share a room there. This is, oh, how you doing? Thank you. Oh, you want to come through? Go ahead. Yeah, there's more room this way. I'll stay right here. I'm on YouTube here. Good. So here, yeah, look at this. Wow, they got the seats here. Little roomettes. Huh. I guess that's how that works. I guess you could look, you could sleep. You put your feet there. Look how that is. That's an interesting design. Look at that. So you have the different designs, how they got the different sleepers there. There, we made it to the end. So, hey, thanks for checking out the Pullman's car. Here's a tanker. So, So I'm glad I came this way. We would have missed all this. I didn't know there were all these Pullman cars. I slept in the beds. They're not extremely comfortable. I mean, if you're sleeping on a train, you're sleeping on a train. There's a lot of rocking and rolling. I mean, you're not going to get as good night's sleep as you would in a luxury hotel, but you know, once you get used to sleeping on a train, you can get used to it. It's like sleeping on a ship, you know. There's idiosyncrasies to it, you know, or sleeping on a cruise ship, you know. I'm sure it's more comfortable on a cruise ship, but you know, when I sleep on the trains, I don't sleep I wake up in the middle of the night, you hear the horn blowing, or it'll stop and it'll wake you up, or they'll have an announcement on the train. You're always waking up, you know. It's like sleeping on a plane. How even if you get one of those luxury where you can lay fully flat in a plane, you're still sleeping on the plane. It's not as comfortable as your own bed, you know. It's just meant so you can stretch out and lay flat. It is better laying flat than sleeping in a chair. But these are old. I mean, this was before people flew, so this was the best way to get around at that time. People used to take the Queen Mary across the Atlantic before they used to fly. Harborside Express, the railway. Here's where we're at. We're at the Railroad Museum here, Galveston, Texas. GalvestonRRmuseum.org. So you can check it out here. Thanks for tuning in here. The tip of Texas, yeah. Miriam, thanks for tuning in there. Or Myra Martinez, thanks for tuning in there. Shauna, Amtrak sucks. Yeah, no one wants to pay for the Amtrak, I know, but it's the last. I mean, it would be a shame for America not to have any passenger rail service. It's good for people. Think of the Amish and Mennonites. Like we see the Amish and Mennonites often in Union Station. They don't want to fly because of their American right for freedom of religion. And would you not want the Mennonites to be able to travel across country, you know, or the Amish, you know? These are conservatives. Thanks for tuning in here. And they benefit from the state subsidy just like we do. You know, I know the railroads don't pay for themselves. They're a big hole in the money, a hole in the pit where you throw your money and it never comes back. But look at the Santa Fe, Texas Eagle, Sunset Limited. Thanks for checking out. Look at this push cart. They got some stuff for Christmas here, but hey, let's head through the Railway Museum here. They got stroller parking. Thanks for checking it out here. We'll head through the station here. The Railway Museum here, Galveston, Texas, very nice. I really enjoyed going on those Pullman cars. Here's the newsstand here, the old-time newsstand here. Train posters, you get a train poster. Here's the restaurant, gift shop, air conditioning. Here's where you used to be able to wait for the trains here, the Galveston railway station lobby here. Yeah, like I said, I was on I-45 yesterday driving to Galveston. There was a traffic jam getting on the island. It wasn't because there was just a car broke down on one of the lanes, and there was such a volume of traffic that it caused a bottleneck. And it's positive, negative, everything. What do we always talk about? Hey, Galveston, Texas, there's the Strand. Look at that cruise ship. Let's go up and check out this cruise ship, and then I'm gonna head back to get in my car and get some lunch. And I got to charge up the phone here. We're down to 39%, so we should be able to. Look, there's a roller coaster. There's a roller coaster on top of this cruise ship. Yeah, my nephews were telling me there was 2 water slides on the cruise they took, and they would go and dress up and get the fine dining. My nephew, we get escargot every night on the cruise ship. He loved escargot, the snails. But here's the historic downtown Galveston, the cruise terminal, and there's the bridge that gets it across here. Let's see what it looks like here. Hey, there's people going to their cruises. They got all their luggage, and you got to run to catch the cruise ship there. People take a cruise. Yeah, you want a lunch there? Yeah, we need to give a lunch to our mods. Please, people, give some gifts to our mods there so they can get a lunch. I deserve give all you a free lunch there. Here's public cruise and parking here. Terminal, historic downtown. 1927, Pier 26, Pier 23. There's the cruise ship there. And there's a cruise ship over there. Here's people heading to the cruises. See, hey, there's everybody heading to the cruise here. Very nice, Galveston. Look at that, yeah. Let's take a cruise. Yeah, if I missed your comment there, I know, thanks, One Golden Nubian. I miss comments, I miss gifts. Thanks for the gifts, likes, and follows. If you sent a gift there, sometimes I'm so busy trying to concentrate on what I'm filming, I miss the comments. So thanks for your comments there. I do go back and read them. We'll get back to you. Appreciate your patronage and your comments. Thanks, One Gold Nubian, and everybody, Shauna and everybody for helping out here. Most of the time when you live stream, you're confused. You miss a bunch of comments. You look down and I'm like, well, I missed something. And people will be talking about something. And London's tuning in there. That's good. Let's see. You took the Amtrak in 74, 78 to Richmond. Old railroad depot. Had cabs waiting. Hey, that's good. Texas, Illinois. The mule. So there's a Texas Eagle. You could take the Amtrak. It takes a long time. And here's the Strand here. Galveston here. We'll cross the street. And we'll show you this railroad terminal we were just at here. Here's the Strand. Galveston, Texas. There's the cruise ships. We'll head around here. Yeah, you catch the trolley right there. We'll head up the stairs here, or the curb. Rosenberg and the Strand, Galveston, Texas, 70 degrees. There's where we were just at. So if you go through there on the other side, that's where we checked out those. Railroads. I'll walk you by the Tremont House. We'll go by the Tremont House. They got that arch that goes over the street. And hey, Pete, glad you got to see it there, Chris. T-Lime Tea Time. VRB or VB 381 is from Galveston. Hey, thanks for you got a nice town there. I'm enjoying the weather here. Nice historic city. Yeah, we checked out the Railway Museum. That was nice. I'm glad we saw that. We saw those Pullman cars. Here's a Galveston alley. We'll head over towards the Tremont Hotel. This is providing shade. Wagon train. Yeah, try a wagon train. Oh my God. Conestoga wagon. Be like Blazing Saddles. We'll be out there in the wagon circle. Mel Brooks will come get us. Here's Island Silver Jewelry, mechanic in Rosenberg. So I think we got it. Yeah, this is the street. So here's where the Tremont Hotel, they got this arch. We saw this last night. We actually went inside the hotel. So if you want to see the inside of the Tremont, we briefly went in it last night on that second live. The first live, we went in the Hotel Galvez. Athens, Greece. Wow. Soto. Eleni Dimi. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Nancy. Wagon train. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Yeah, you're right, Lambie. Thanks for reminding people that. Yeah, you all got the internet there. If you're seeing my live stream, I know you got the internet, so you can Google Ask ChatGPT. Sometimes you can ask me and I'll try to answer, but I'll get the wrong answer. And then people will be like, Brian doesn't know what he's talking about. It's because I'm walking down the street. I'll have to look it up myself. I can't keep everything in my brain, you know. My brain leaks. Here, Clark Court's Galveston oldest printers. Here's Strand Lofts. We're on Mitchell and Mechanic. Mitchell and Mechanic. I hear a plane going by, but I can't see it. There's all kinds of airplane tours going on. 24th Street, which is Mitchell, and Mechanic, which is like Avenue C or D, or one of those. But here's the Tremont Hotel. This is a portion of it. See how they got this? You can see this in historic pictures. They've always had this arch that goes across the street here at the Tremont Hotel here, Galveston, Texas. And the trolley goes through here, the Tremont Hotel. Here, let's show you what it looks like across the street here. We'll go to the other side here. See, the trolley runs right through it. Or did. There's the 1890 Davidson building, Galveston, Texas, 70 degrees. Scrooge's Big Galveston Christmas. Here's the Tremont Hotel. Look how nice that looks. Google and Wikipedia forever. The Davidson building. Galveston Island, Major City of Commerce. Look at the Tremont Hotel. We went inside there. They got nice atriums. Scrooge's Big Galveston Christmas there. It's already over. Tremont House. Galveston, Texas. There's another hotel here. The Quarter at the Tremont House. So I guess across the street they got an annex. One of the earliest commercial blocks in Galveston. This row of 3-story brick buildings. Earliest most Mechanic Street. 1858. Greek Revival. This is Greek Revival architecture. Gloucestershire Row. So that's these buildings. These buildings were built. This is Greek Revival. Okay. And this is the Tremont House. This looks Italianate. This looks Italianate. The long, tall, narrow windows, the cornice.
Wrong way, buddy.
Here, Texas Scuba Adventures, zipper bikes. Hey, you can rent these bikes. Look, you can rent these bikes and drive them around Galveston, Texas, United States of America, planet Earth. How's everybody doing? Yeah, big cattle bearing stayed here, the Tremont Hotel. Yeah, we saw the Fort Worth stockyards. Now we're in Galveston. There was cattle in this area too. The King Ranch was south of here. It was by south of Corpus Christi. The King Ranch, the largest ranch in Texas that I know of. And they broke it up. Here's where we're at, Galveston, Texas. See, we saw the Galveston Railroad Museum, Ocean Star Drilling Rig Museum, Texas Seaport Museum, Harbor Tours, Tree Sculpture. We saw some of those. Beach parks. Schlitterbahn, that's over by the Moody Gardens. We're going to see that later. There's a Seawolf Park. They got a submarine. This is Galveston Historic Pleasure Pier, Moody Gardens. That's what we're going to see this afternoon. We're going to go to these pyramids. They got a rainforest, they got like a aquarium, and I think they got a Christmas stuff, an ice skating rink in one of them. So, but yeah, we'll mechanic. There's the visitor center is that way, Galveston, Texas. There's the cruise ship. People got their luggage. They were heading to the cruise ship. So here, let's head down Tremont Street. We'll go under this nice covered walkway. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks. French mansard style. Thank you. French mansard. So it's got a mansard roof. Thank you. Yeah, French mansard. It's like a cornice. Yeah, thanks for. It's like it could be in Paris. Thanks, Francois. Thank you, Shauna. Yeah, thanks, Shauna, for. Yeah, usually, you know, when I work from the office there, that's my weekday schedule. So. It's very rare that I live stream this long on a Saturday on YouTube, but I appreciate my mods for helping me out. And if you got something else to do, I'm about to wrap this up anyway. And here we'll go by the City National Bank. But we're in Galveston here. We're on vacation. There's a trolley. It costs $1 to ride that trolley. They'll take you down to the beach. And here we're at Market Street. And I'm getting a phone call. Let me hang up. Watch, they'll call me right back. It says scam likely. Watch, they'll call me right back. That's what they do. Tremont Market. Hey, you see, hey, there's Santa. There's Santa in the Suburban. Look at this. Look at this modernist building. But hey, there's the old City National Bank. Here's some of the taller buildings. I want to go one more street. I want to go one more street south here. Black Pearl. Look at these. They got big urns on sides of these columns. Let's check out these urns. So here, Galveston, Texas, Tremont, and I don't know what the name of the street is here. Market and Tremont. Let's check out these urns here. They got a bunch of post office boxes here. So what else we got here? Here is a historic plaque here. William Lewis Moody Jr. Oh, I wonder if that's the Moody Gardens here. For a long career of dynamic leadership in Galveston business and philanthropy. Yeah, I bet that's the Moody Gardens are named after this same Moody. They got the Greek and Roman revival columns here. Look at these urns. Born in Freestone County. Moody private bank. So Moody owned a bank here. Known as one of the 10 richest men of America, W.L. Moody in his lifetime gave the state a school for cerebral palsy children. Moody Foundation was millions of dollars. So I bet the Moody Gardens are named after this Moody family. That's what this bank is here. Here, let's head back around here. I'm gonna go one more street. I think there's some stuff on one block south here. Hey, hit the like button if you like this content. Hit the thumbs up there. More people can find it there. Yeah, there's some historic cemeteries here. Let's see. Yeah, I bet there's some really old graves in Galveston. It's an older city for Texas. Hey, the Old Moon Deli here. Let's see what else we got. Kindred Studios. Yeah, I bet these are cast iron too. Let's see if these are. Yeah, cast iron pipes for the columns there. Hey, they got some nice Anomaly Studio. Look at this stuff here. Look, they took a no parking sign, made it no king. Isn't that nice? I almost took a nosedive there. I was filming something and there was a drop in the step there, so I got to watch where I'm walking here. They were laughing at me. I'm sure I look pretty comical to see a live streamer fall down in front of them. Here's antiques. Yeah, I'm gonna get lunch. Don't worry, I'll figure something out to eat. Appreciate it. See, here you get the big 8-person golf carts here. Yeah, this is the street I want to go. I'll go on the shady side of the street. See how the trolley goes down this street, so that's why there's a commercial strip here. There's the drugstore, the old Coca-Cola sign. More cast iron columns, cast iron pipe columns supporting this building. Cast iron, very sturdy, but very brittle. Yeah, Galveston's near the Gulf of Mexico. You're correct. Yeah, we showed the ocean several times. I filmed the sunrise this morning on TikTok, and we're just checking out the historic housing and the commercial strips here, downtown Galveston. They got the nice turtles. Oh, look at that. She looks nice there, the turtle, and then she's got a bunch of nice barnacles on her back there. They got the bars here. Nice. Joy to the world. Fulton jewelry here. Look how the sun hits those balconies there. Galveston, Texas. That's okay. Knock and you. That's fine. You can. That's a good knock in and in. You can watch. You can watch the full rerun on YouTube. You go to the live tab on my page. You don't even have to follow or subscribe or like me. You can just go to the live tab. You can watch from beginning to end. We started at the Bishop's residence across from the beautiful Sacred Heart Catholic Church there on 14th Street in Galveston, and we walked all the way up to Strand here. We checked out the cruise ships, went to the Railway Museum. Yesterday we filmed at night. We saw some Christmas decorations. We'll cross the street here. There's some murals. And wow, look at this street. Let's show this trellis with the bushes on it here. Maybe some murals here. Go ahead. I want to make sure I saw them there, which is nice. Post office. This is Post Office Road here. So here we'll head back. Look at this, people sitting out here. This beautiful trellis with the you can sit in the shade. That's what's so nice about it here. Hey, Mod Coffee House, Galveston, Texas. Very nice. Got candy canes. Hey, Mikey's Ice Cream. Free Narcan. Yeah, please like and subscribe. Thanks, Shauna. Tea Lime Tea Time, One Gold Nubian. Yeah, I got to put on more sunscreen. Thank you. Thanks. You're right. And I did remember to put sunscreen on. I'm glad I did, because we're doing a lot of walking in the sun. I appreciate the sunshine. We got low 70s. Beautiful sunshiny day here in Galveston. It's perfect for filming this architecture. Thanks for being a part of it. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nice long break, get my my batteries recharged, recharge the batteries of the phone and the gimbal, and then probably after 3 p.m. we'll what time is it? 12:17. After 2 for sure. Probably closer to 3 p.m. But maybe we'll see when we get to the Moody Gardens there. And once I get past the ticket booth, we'll come back live on YouTube. And we'll do a nice long live stream from Moody's.
Okay.
So if you missed it earlier live, I'll end the live. How's my battery doing? We're down to 30%. As long as my battery holds out, we'll walk back to where I started, which was the Bishop's residence and the Church of the Sacred Heart. There's O'Malley's Pub. And we'll film it one last time. And earlier we went inside. I don't know if they wanted me inside there. I got some strange looks from people when I took my hat off. At least I took my hat off out of respect for the Catholic Church there. But such a beautiful architectural interior and exterior, that church, and the bishop's residence across. It wasn't always the bishop's residence, it was a private residence. The church acquired it later when it was sold, and then it became the bishop's residence. But it's both those buildings are probably the most recognizable buildings. People don't even realize they're in Galveston. They might have seen them in a book or the internet. You're a redhead? Hey, tea time. Join the club. All us gingers of the world unite. We'll go hang out with Nick Hoykin there. St. John's Antiques. But there's that building we saw. We'll head straight back to the nice residential. This is why they call this Post Office Street. Here's the 1861 United States Federal Courthouse here. The post office is on this street, probably. And there's where you used to catch the trolleys. Here's another turtle. There's the turtle. Your neighbors are fighting? Who's your girl? Yeah. Thanks for tuning in there, Wes. Knocking in. Yeah, free Narcan. Yeah, yeah. It's come to this. I mean, I have seen a few homeless people in Galveston, but they were more towards the beach. I didn't see many homeless people last night in this area. So I see homeless people in Houston. We see a lot of homeless people standing on the interstate, off ramps, because that's where no one walks in Houston. So they got to catch people in their cars, and that's what they do. There, $6 all day parking here. Here's the lofts you can rent. So we'll head. There's beautiful historic housing. This is what we were checking out originally on this live. We walked to the downtown to check out the cruise ships and that railroad museum. I didn't realize that railway museum was so expensive. Extensive. It wasn't expensive. It was free. I'll have to show that to Chris. Chris loves railroads, and we went to Illinois Union. They have an amazing railway museum there. But we're in Galveston, Texas, and they got a nice one here too. The price is right. There, 19th and where are we at? Oh, wait till this van crash. There's a bike lane here. Here, 19th and Post Office. We'll show you some of the historic housing here in Galveston as we head back towards the Bishop's Mansion and the Church of the Sacred Heart there. Yeah, let's cross the street here. There's a nice stained glass window in this church. Go ahead here. Yeah, the Railway Museum was nice. Kevin, how you doing there? Nebraska, thanks for tuning in there, Kevin. Yeah, we know you. Yeah, autocorrect. Yeah, Narcan. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting it to be like a little free library. I was surprised that it said free Narcan. Maybe I should have took some. Here's, you never know. Here's, we're still on Post Office. We were here earlier, but the housing on this street's so beautiful. We'll go to that Victorian. There's a little gecko, little lizards all over the place. 1816 Post Office. They got the volleyball court here. Hey, look at all the little lizards. They're jumping around. There's everywhere I look. There's little lizards. How you doing there, lizard? And believe it or not, when I lived in Cincinnati, I went to college in Cincinnati in the 90s, Cincinnati, Ohio. On the steps, these little geckos in the summertime, they were an invasive species. They were all over those steps. And I would tell people they were lizards. They're like, you're lying. But people in Cincinnati know you see these little lizards on the steps in the summertime. I don't know what they do in the winter, but down here they can live year round. Even where my nephews live, they find these little geckos by their pool. They're everywhere. Yeah, they're so fast. There's no way. My nephews could catch them, and then their tails would fall off, and they would get away. They could like release their tails and grow back another tail. Some of them. Here's yeah. Look at this beautiful housing here, Galveston, Texas. So yeah, we'll film the Moody Gardens in the afternoon. Then once it gets dark, we'll film at least on my battery holds out. I got 2 phones. We'll and then I'll probably dinner time. We'll get out of here and head back north to the northern suburbs of Houston. But we're in Galveston, Texas here, 70 degrees. We got 12:24. Thanks everybody for staying on so long. I hope you're having, one golden newbie, and I hope you feel better. There's nothing worse than having a cold there in the wintertime. But thanks for the sunshine. Looks nice, palm trees, beautiful housing here. Yeah, so yeah, we'll head one more block. There's a beautiful building. We filmed it earlier, but it's so nice we should film it twice. Chemtrails, yeah. I know, so you see the chemtrails, yeah. And so much pollution from the airlines. And then, so why did I film the railroads? I know railroads cause their own pollution, but at least railroads don't cause chemtrails. Very bike-friendly town here, Galveston, Texas. You can just take a nice bike ride here. You can rent bikes. How you doing? Very nice day here. Look at the beautiful housing here. Look at that. Look at they paint the railing here. We're on Post Office, and we're heading over towards, we're not quite to 14th Street yet, but eventually we'll get to 14th Street. We're on Post Office here, Galveston, Texas. We're heading towards the, hopefully my battery will hold out. I'm down to 25%. So we have a nice long live here. Thanks for checking out Galveston. Beautiful day. Look at these porches, better homes and gardens. What do we always say? It's so nice seeing the bright sunshine. It's good to get vitamin D. It's good for my skin. I'm glad I wore sunscreen. Nothing worse than being sunburnt for New Year's. Here's, hey, see how they carved the trees? I got it. This one's for sale. You can live right next to this house. So this is an historic house in Galveston, Texas. Look at that turret. The plaque says 200 people survived the 1900 Galveston hurricane by seeking refuge in this mansion. It's a castle. They call these castles, the ones with the turrets here. It's at 16th and Post Office, Galveston, Texas. And it's a chateau-esque revival style. Look at that. Look at the weather vane. It's a whale. It's Moby Dick. There's Moby Dick. Look at that cupola, that turret, double balcony. Amazing building here. It's called the Henry A. Landais. There's the cruise ship. There's the cruise ship, Galveston, Texas. There, this is for sale. Looks like an apartment building. Post Office. And what is 16th Street? Is that where we're at? Look at that building. Yeah, it's inspiring. Good. Yeah, it looks like summer. Look at these Victorian. Yeah, this is a Victorian chateau-esque style, true Victorian mansion here in Galveston, Texas. Look at that. Look how the sun hits that. I'm glad we're seeing it on a sunny day. So 1500 block of Post Office West. Here's a very patriotic house. They got the American flags, the Texas flags. Look at this porch. 1521 Post Office. Beautiful housing here, Galveston, Texas. 70 degrees. I guess that's a school or something. Better homes and gardens. Yeah, it just gets better and better. It just gets better and better. So I want to document all this, you know, we can cut out the reruns. So I realize life is short. Every day, you got to seize every day, make the most of it. See as much as you can see, because look at the people we lost this year. We lost Drew Drzezinskis. He was a live streamer. He fortunately passed away. He apparently dove in the pool or drowned or choked on some water. It was horrible. He was so full of life. He was in the unions. We walked with him on May Day. This year we walked with him. I have to get that. We lost Diana, our fellow live streamer Diana. And she lived in Texas. She lived by Brownsville. Look at this squirrel. So we won't forget Diana, you know. And that was earlier this year. I mean, it's just, how you doing there, squirrel? You like living in Galveston? What do you say? You're cute. You want to be on YouTube? You're just looking, hey, it kind of froze there for a second. They got a close-up of the squirrel. So, yeah, let's head down this way. Seize every day. Live every day like it's your last, because you never know. And that's why we document. We go back and watch Drew's footage. He would always walk in the woods, go on his rants. But he lives on, and all of us. Diana lives on, John James, Sarah. Yeah, we won't forget these people. Look at this garden. Are you allowed? Is this a public garden? I don't know if it is. Look at this beautiful garden. Yeah, people are sitting in there. Look at this beautiful garden, Galveston, Texas. They got a kind of a cupola, or yeah, look at this. You can just walk right in here. It's called Darragh Park, D-A-R-R-A-G-H. This park and pavilion for day use only. You can reserve it for weddings and stuff. So here's a public park. Hey, she's roller skating there. Look, got butterflies. Look at these monarch butterflies flying through here. Wow, there's butterflies. Look at the nice, very nice benches here. Yeah, they got the trees all decorated with the ornaments. Look at this nice public park here, Galveston, Texas. Yeah, they're checking it out here. Look at that. Very nice. How you doing? Very nice. How you doing? Yeah. I like, see, they got monarch butterflies flying through here. You got the garland, 15th Street. Yeah, it's a beautiful garden. India's tuning in there. There. Pen Pencil Studios. How you doing there? Yeah, look at these pylons. So this was probably someone's private garden, and they donated it to the city. And it's a church in 15th Street, this historical district. I gotta, my battery's quickly running out. We're down to 23%. So I'm desperately trying to get to the Archbishop's the Bishop's residence, church in 15th. So we got to go one more block here, and we'll head straight down 14th, and we'll check out this Bishop's residence, which we caught it earlier. If my battery runs out, you'll just have to watch it from earlier. At least we got inside that church, but I'm gonna try to film it again. Yeah, there's so much to see in Galveston. I'm pleasantly surprised, because first time I came here, I didn't know all this stuff was here, and I saw all the hotels and stuff, the fast food joints by the beach, and then we saw the Strand, and I said, oh, there is historic stuff here. But then once I saw this housing, I was like, why didn't I check out this housing? You know, I was always by the beach, and I didn't walk into the neighborhoods here to see this beautiful housing. It's historic here in Galveston, Texas. So we're seeing it today. But yeah, I'm getting pretty hungry. I'm gonna get some lunch, get my batteries recharged, and this afternoon, after 3 p.m., maybe starting before 3 p.m., but definitely after 3 p.m., I plan to live stream from the Moody Gardens, which are the pyramids. There's a rainforest, they got animals, they have an aquarium, and then once it gets dark, we're at Christopher Columbus, which is 14th Street, and Church Street. And let's head down to the Bishop's residence, and we'll end the live there for now, for this morning, or this afternoon. It's already 12:32 in the PM Central Time Zone here, Galveston, Texas. I remember walking past these things earlier, so we're getting close. There's an owl. Hey, you see you got your chair just sit right out here by the sidewalk here. See, for lease. Reminds me of New Orleans. Yeah, I don't know what I'm getting for lunch. I'll figure it out. Thanks for the question there. I usually don't. I'll figure it out. I'll see something I like on our way. I'll probably get some good. Yeah, I should get some brisket while I'm here. Some pulled pork or something. Get some nice Texas barbecue instead of fast food. I went to Texas and all I got was Taco Bell. Hey, look at this. How you doing? I like the skeleton. That's nice. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. I like that. Hey, you got the nice. Oh, that's a good horn. That's a good horn. Yeah, that's a nice train horn. Look at that. See, you got the art cars here in Galveston. I like that. You got the skeleton, the pirate, the buccaneer. Sounds like a plan. Hey, Stevie England. Yeah, Ruby Raven. Yeah, I mean, I'm like a homing pigeon. I usually can find my way back. We're retracing our steps. Where's the sidewalk go? So yeah, the beach is that way, but it's still several blocks. That's only Broadway. So now we can almost see, we're gonna make it. We got 21% on my battery. Yeah, we filmed this earlier. This is beautiful. We'll film it again. This beautiful porch here, decorated for Christmas. Man, that railroad horn on that Jeep was pretty loud. That'll get your attention. Feel like a freight train's behind you. Look at this beautiful porch. Galveston, Texas. Give you ideas. Better Homes and Gardens. Look at that. And they got it decorated. This whole street, all these streets are just spectacular. And with this live oak tree, it stays green year round. Isn't it nice seeing green trees in December the 27th? 70 plus degrees, 20 plus degrees Celsius. Not bad. The last pedestrian had no chance. Sasquatch from Canada. Hey, that's great. MS, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah. The Yeti, the abominable snowman. Sasquatch. They're cousins to the Himalayan Yeti, the Pacific Northwest British Columbian Sasquatch. Chewbacca. We saw Chewbacca at the Prestonwood Forest subdivision Christmas lights. We did that on Christmas night. So I'll come home to Chicago after New Year's. I usually stay through New Year's because I like to shoot fireworks off with my nephews. If you want to watch the fireworks in Chicago for New Year's Eve, if you're not there live, they're going to do the countdown to Chicago River. Chicago Nuggies, Ernesto is planning to live stream them there in Chicago, and I think Alexander, Chicago. I'm sure other live streamers are going to do it too. I don't want to commit them. Those are two that said they're definitely going to plan on streaming the New Year's celebration. I will not be in Chicago for New Year's. I'll be in Texas. At least that's the plan. I'm down here with my family, and I'll go back and spend time with them. I'm taking a diversion here, and I'll show them the reruns here. They might be watching right now. Here's the Bishop's residence. So we filmed this earlier. I'll get it from the sunny side because it's hard to see. Here's the Church of the Sacred Heart. We went inside this earlier. I don't know if I was supposed to be inside there, but we got some footage of the inside. And here's the Bishop's residence. I'm sure they'll have mass there tomorrow or tonight. Here's the this wasn't always the Bishop's residence. It was a private residence. And let's see what the historic plaque says here. Here's the it talks about the retired Reverend Monsignor Emeritus Shantigon and the father, Chat Galveston soldier priest. He was finally known, promoted the rank of colonel, and served as the chief chaplain of the Corps of the 5th Army of North Africa in Italy during World War II. He probably served under Patton there. And wow, so the pastor of the Sacred Heart during World War II served in all those campaigns as the chaplain, probably under Patton, and fighting Rommel there in North Africa and up through Italy. Isn't that amazing? And so here's the that's called the Bishop's Residence, Galveston, Texas. Here's the Church of Our Sacred Heart. It's the Holy Family here. We went inside there. I'm not even going to attempt to go inside there now because we were lucky there was people going in and out of there. And so I ran inside there and got some footage. Here, the Church of Our Sacred Heart Catholic Church, Mass, 7:30 and 11. Archdiocese of Galveston. Look at this beautiful, look at that dome. Look how nice it looks in the sun. We'll get you the whole thing here. So let's we'll walk along the front of this and show you how this gleams in the sun. Here, the Sacred Heart Church. The earliest Catholic services in the Galveston area were conducted in 1838. In 1884, as a result of the church's growth, they founded the Archdiocese, the Sacred Heart. It's the fourth church on the island. 1892. The present building, the second for the parish, was constructed in 1903-04 during the pastorate of the Reverend D.J. Murphy, Provident Landmark in the city. Octagonal towers, flying buttresses, elaborate ornamentation, arches, Gothic and Romanesque styles. Original dome damage In 1915 was a hurricane. It was redesigned. So it was built after the hurricane, but it was also damaged in subsequent hurricanes, but they kept it going here. Here's the Church of the Sacred Heart here, Galveston, Texas. We got inside there, so I'll post reruns of that. You can rewind to the beginning of this live and see it here. My battery's about out of juice. I'm down to 15% here, but we'll film as much as we can. And then I'll end this live, get lunch. We'll take a break, get recharged, and then later this afternoon around 3 p.m. we'll come live from the Moody Gardens on YouTube. I'll send a message to my mod team. And I know not everybody's available. Some people are working, some people got other stuff to do. I don't expect anybody to change their schedule because of mine, but here's, see how it connects to the rectory here. And here's the dome. We got inside there. Here's the Church of the Sacred Heart of Galveston, Texas, and we'll show you the Bishop's residence, and then we'll take a break. Hey, this was a good live. Thanks for being a live audience. We checked out. So what we walked through this whole residential area in Galveston, Texas, and we walked through the Strand. We went to the Railroad Museum, which is the old railroad station. We got on a Pullman car. I can't wait to show that footage to Chris and other people that are interested. But thanks Anita, thanks to Shauna, One Golden Nubian, thanks everybody who's helped out on this. And we'll cross the street here. Wait for this car to go here. And look at this. Church of the Sacred Heart here. We'll get across the street. We can get a better view of it here. Yeah. This Christopher Columbus Boulevard, which is 14th. This is Broadway. This is the main street. This will go to I-45, connect you to downtown Houston. Look at that. Church of the Sacred Heart. Galveston, Texas, December the 22nd, 2025. No, December the 27th, 2025. I'm losing track of the days here. And here's the Bishop's Palace, Gresham's house. Originally was the Gresham House. Look at all the stickers. People put all these stickers on the mark that they've been here. How you doing? Look at the Gresham House. Look how nice it is here. They're restoring the roof. And wow, look at that. Romanesque style. Chateau-esque style. Yeah, this is Chateau-esque. Look at that. Wow, look at that. Look at this beautiful Bishop's residence here, Galveston, Texas. 1892. So I'm waiting for them to take the picture there. Look at the nice, and you can go inside this. I haven't paid to go inside, and we'll do that on another trip. We'll go inside and check it out. I'm gonna get lunch here. I'm gonna break. So hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for checking this out. And yeah, okay, no problem. It's hard. Let me set this down. Let me set this down. I'm live streaming on YouTube, but let me set this down here. So here, yeah, we'll take a picture. No problem. Thank you. Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. Okay, good. You want a portrait like this? Yeah. Okay.
I think you look professional. So
I know. Yeah. Hey, oh, it's such a beautiful building here. Yeah. So I'll wait till you get in there. Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. So here it is. Yeah, the Bishop's Palace. Okay. Yeah, it looks nice here. I'll take 2 or 3.
I appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it looks nice. Very nice. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a good one.
Happy New Year. Yeah, Happy New Year. Very nice. So hey, yeah, we took a picture there. That's great. So hey, yeah, watch the rerun. Yeah, thanks, Cece. Please watch the rerun. You can watch the whole live. That's the good thing about YouTube, is you can rewind, watch from the beginning. I'll post it. We'll cut out clips. And thanks for watching on YouTube. I know some people prefer if I stream on TikTok. There's positive, negatives, everything. So my battery's about to run out. We'll keep an eye on this church as we head around here. Look at the beautiful blue skies. I want to show it from the side here. Here's the, look at that. There's the Bishop's residence. But yeah, I'm going to end this live stream. We're going to start a new one about 3 p.m. We'll be at the Moody Gardens there. And if I get my battery stuff charged up, we might start a little early. And then we'll stream there as much as we can until the lights get dark. And then we'll end it with the Christmas lights, even though it's after Christmas. Here comes the motorcycles heading to the beach there. Look at that. Yeah, how you doing? Very nice. Very nice. Hey, look at, they got the tricycles, the three-wheel motorcycles. What a beautiful day to ride there. Head out to the beach. Yeah. So I'm going to cross the street here. But there it is. There's the Church of the Sacred Heart here in Galveston, Texas. Look, you can really see the flying buttresses and the dome there. Yeah, hope to see you later, Wes. Thanks, Wes, for watching. Thanks, T-Lime Tea Time. Thanks, Shauna. Thanks, One Golden Nubian. I really appreciate you and Shauna for being on. Happy New Year. We'll see you later this afternoon. And then we'll take a break tomorrow. And then we'll see what happens the rest of the week. The temperature's supposed to drop down on Monday. So I'm soaking in this 80-degree temperatures as much as I can. So thanks again, everybody from Galveston. We'll see you in a few hours. Really appreciate it. See you, T-Line Tea Time, TY for... Yeah, it's a Catholic church. This is a Catholic church. This is the Church of Sacred Heart there. That's why it's called the Bishop's Residence across the way. See ya. Yeah, T-Lime Tea Time, Wes. Irish Rose, RDS. Yeah, talk to you later there. So we'll see you from the Moody Gardens. Okay, talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thanks a lot.